Yo, how's it going, folks? You blame me for the price increase? What you on about? What did I do? How we doing, folks? How's everyone enjoying the nice weather? It's really nice and chill around here. Bullets, just for you, mate. Just for you. I'm gonna enjoy a nice Pepsi Max, just for you. You told me how much you loved it today, so I'm gonna enjoy it just for you, mate. Hey, so Byron, we don't know exactly, but you are to blame. Some. Yeah, I've noticed that DCG is posting like 5 videos a day now. That's crazy. I only know because everyone is spamming me with his videos, telling me to watch them tonight. I don't know if I'm going to watch a single one. Hey, you liked it, Devin? Nice to see you about, dude. We're moving the blame from John to Chaos now. I'm good with that. Wait, why am I getting the blame? I did nothing. I said waifus are laifus, and that is a fact. Hey, Sanchez. They're combining for terribleness. No, I did nothing of the sort. This feels wrong. I shouldn't be the one being picked on here. I'm the innocent guy here. I'm the one that didn't want price increases. Hey, you want my phone? Here you go. May my card details be safe. uh, you're not innocent. People don't shave the beard. All right, look. There's a funny story behind that. So we've got these clippers that can trim it down. And so the missus said, hey, let me trim them down for you a little bit. And I said, oh, that's nice of you. And then she applied the DLSS 5 filter on my face. How is that my fault?
I did a good job.
You did a good job. See? She's even gloating in what she did. Never again will I trust her. You can lie to yourself, your friends, but you cannot lie to your Raichi, I'm really tempted to give Zenithzone Zero another try. Not so much. I have a lot of health problems, and sometimes I can't stand up for too long. And I was going to see my mum the next day. I mean, I don't buy Gillette anymore because I don't like to be clean shaven. Right now, DirectX 12 ZZZ is a bit broken. I know, but the characters look amazing. The characters look amazing. That's what drew me back in. The new Cantarella ripoff. She looked good. No. Now I've got Luna just all over my face. shave your hair off? You'd love that, wouldn't you, gaming? You'd love that, wouldn't you? Then you guys would actually be able to call me that B word. But not today. We're getting a horse girl next month. What the okay. That's just getting weird. I had to get 2 jobs with these growing prices, so I'm a utility worker during the day and at night. Nah, it's getting silly, man. It's getting silly. It's these price increases from Xbox is obviously a twofold attack. One, she mentioned that they're losing about $100 to $200 per console, so it's partly that, and GTA 6. They're gonna try and capitalize on GTA 6. Now, if anyone is looking for a console before August, now's your best chance to pick one up. But after August, I don't even know if anyone's ever going to recommend an Xbox when it's almost at the same price as a PS5 Pro. Like, I don't know. I don't understand what she's doing. And Steve, I absolutely agree with what you said on social media. It's absolutely disgusting. 100%, 100%. There's no excuse for this. There is no excuse for this. Like, the way AI is completely crippling this world in terms of technology and price. And the thing is, right, when everything settles down, these prices aren't coming down. When everything stabilizes and this AI bubble goes away, we're not going back to the original prices. That's not happening. These prices are here to stay. You may see like maybe 10% drop in price as they go, hey, look, now because of all of this, we can discount it by 10%. But they're not going to reduce it by the 90% that they're increasing the prices by. That's not going to happen. This is just absolute greed. I guess we can start off with the whole Xbox news first and then move on to some Bungie stuff. Because the Bungie news is pretty bad as well. Got a nice video set up for that one. There's also Clutch that had dropped a video today, so we can check that out as well and see what that's like. But as you can see here, effective from the 1st of August 2026, the price of Xbox consoles will increase by $100 for the 512 gigabyte models and $150 for the 1 terabyte model. We will be updating prices worldwide. We will also be sunsetting our 2 terabyte model that no one ever bought or asked for. Right. So if you have the 2 terabyte model, that's about to become a lot more valuable on eBay if someone ever actually wants it. But here's the reason why they're deciding to go down this route. Let's just read this. Last October, we increased Xbox console price by 20 to 70 in the US. We hoped another price increase would not be necessary. And we have spent the last several months working with suppliers on options. Unfortunately, console storage and memory prices have increased by more than 2.5 times, and we expect another doubling by the fall of 2022. But you created this problem, right? It was a special edition, Vital. Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, Amazon, they created this problem. So deal with it. The entire consumer electronics industry is struggling with the current component crisis, which is probably manufactured as well to some degree, because, with greater demand and lower supply comes higher prices, right? I'm not saying it's fully manufactured. I'm just saying there is some form of jerry-rigging going on there. But the effects are particularly hard on consoles, unlike phones. And this is the thing, right? It's particularly hard on consoles. But if you had the foresight to actually plan ahead and actually deal with this like other companies have, it wouldn't have hit so hard. You could have delayed or worked through this, but there was no foresight. Hey, Paul. Only this once. I'm going to acknowledge it because I'm not bald. And I don't know who that baldy guy is, but I'm going to say hi, Paul. And whoever you're referring to as baldy, I don't know who that guy is. I wonder how much the Xbox 25th anniversary console will be done. That's the third reason why I was getting to it, gaming. I was getting to it. This is all preparing them for that $1,200 Xbox 25th anniversary edition, which I'm not buying. At that price, they can go jump. It ain't worth it. What I'm going to do is go down to my local CEX and get the Halo edition that I've always wanted and be happy and content with that one. That's what I'm going to do. Because I feel like my Xbox is packing up and I'm going to need another one. So I'm going to go and get the Halo from my local CEX and get it. I am cheap. I don't make money. As if I made money, I wouldn't be cheap. No. Like, that's not what happened. You should be buying all members one each. As soon as you send me the money, man, I will do exactly that. Has anyone had an email from Steam yet regarding what, Cosmic? I mean, I'm not sure if anyone here has pre-ordered the Steam machine. I haven't. I refuse to pay that much money for that console. Instead of paying that much money for that console, I just go buy a 5080 graphics card and I've got a better Steam machine that runs Windows and plays everything. Incentivize Rogaine. I don't even know what Rogaine is, but the fact that you know what it is, Woodpit, I believe you've been looking into it a lot more than I have. But yeah, this is crazy, man. Let's continue. The entire consumer electronics industry is struggling with the current component crisis, but the effects are particularly hard on consoles, where everyone else foresaw. Oh, like I was saying, it's not that Microsoft didn't foresee what was happening. Have you ever heard of the saying? I mean, I'm sure you have. Don't put all your eggs into one basket. Right? For the longest time, Nintendo had been putting all their eggs into one basket, and then they decided to diversify a little into the movie industry. You've got Sony doing all sorts of things and doing stuff with PlayStation. Microsoft decided what we're going to do is bank on Game Pass getting 200 million subscribers. And with all those billions of users out there on cloud, they're going to be tripping over themselves to sign up to a service that they may or may not want. And then they found out that no one wanted to sign up from those billions of people. Number one, because the marketing was absolutely, atrocious. Number two, I'm pretty sure 99.999999999 recurring 9% of those people that they were trying to reach haven't even heard of Game Pass or know what it is. So that's a problem. And so they were trying to sell to an audience that they didn't really have. And the great gamble of Game Pass didn't work. It's a great service. It is the best service out there on the market right now. But the fact is, what they wanted was to tap into the TV crowd, the tablet crowd, the mobile phone crowd, the laptop, all of it. Anything that wasn't an Xbox that could run through the cloud, they wanted to tap into that. But they couldn't reach them. And because of that, and that this is an Xbox, that's the whole purpose of this is an Xbox campaign. That was literally the purpose of that, to try and reach out. But that campaign started and died at the same time. It didn't really have the momentum movement that they had. They needed to make this a multi-million global advertising campaign, and they didn't do it. They half-assed it. And so Game Pass just didn't work. It didn't reach. And so because they couldn't get to that prophesized 250 million, like Michael Proctor kept saying, subscriber number, they were stuck with their fingers up their asses, wondering what the hell we're going to do. And that's why the plan that was the plan is not the plan. Because it didn't work. And that's why they brought in someone else to try and rewrite the ship. But this isn't the way. I mean, the Xbox One reveal was atrocious. Microsoft were way too early with that. If they did that with the Series X and kind of said, hey, here's games and what else you can do, that would have actually been really cool. But they were too early with the Xbox One. I mean, the stuff that they're talking about with the Xbox, that they talked about with the Xbox One, is what people are using their Series X's and consoles for today. So Microsoft wasn't wrong with that campaign, with that initiative. They were just too early. Man, the Xbox One had a TV in and a TV out pass through, right? That's insane. So you could literally plug something into it and out to your set-top box and use your set-top box on your console. Like, it was really trying to be the all-in-one multimedia device. It just wasn't there yet. We as a society wasn't there yet. They're just too early. They look at trends, and Microsoft is really good at capturing trends, but they were just too early. You didn't have to use live TV. Back then, smart TVs weren't common. You had set-top boxes, right? You had set-top boxes. So you'd pass through your set-top box to it. What am I doing at Discord? Oh, it landed. You're right. Nice TV, by the way. Nice TV. Tekken is officially available on Xbox. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. This is the first time Tekken has been available on Xbox, right? Or am I mistaken? They did, Harry, but not back in 2016. Well, more like 2013. Back in 2013, that was not really the case. No. I'm saying back then it was cool. It had a really good feature set. Now, obviously, it's a bit more less useful. But the box was designed really well. But they were just way too early for what they had. And the Xbox One really did hurt them. But, I mean, if we're going back to stuff like that, I mean, when Redfall had that awful showing, and I liked Redfall, you know, I completed it, I played it, I liked it. It was fun in multiplayer. Phil was on that Kind of Funny show and said, if we released, 11 out of 10 games, it wouldn't change the needle. That's wrong. That's wrong, because it would have. You release great games that are only on your platform, then you would. It's that simple. But This over here is Harry. Xbox has to do something really drastic. And do you remember a few streams ago, or was it last stream? I don't know. I just said I don't think they have it in them. I've also said this in some of my videos as well, where I don't think they have it in them to actually go the whole 9 yards. If you're going to commit to the console as your primary focus, you have to commit to it 100%. And that means, you're going to incur losses in the short term and hopefully gain the benefits as time goes on. But I don't think they can do that anymore. Sold 59 million, yeah. I believe it was 59 million. It was just shy of 60 million. I mean, the Xbox One sold 60 million units almost with no first party games for the first 2-3 years. That's insane when you think about it. But it did hurt it. The whole DRM, the whole Connect, and all of this, bad decisions were made. And Sony got lucky that they went second because Sony was going to come out and do the same thing with the whole iToy camera and all of this that they had planned to launch with the PlayStation 4. But when they saw Microsoft getting absolutely obliterated, they immediately took it out while Xbox was on the show floor doing their thing and mocked up another photoshopped image and got another price point, and off they went. They did all that in record time, man, and they had to, and they succeeded. But this is what they're relying on: buy now, pay later. We've made it easier for players to use buy now, pay later options on eligible Xbox hardware purchases through Microsoft stores, making it possible to break up your payment into predictable short-term interest-free installments. Now, PayPal does this. For example, I don't know if you've seen their PayPal pay over 3 months. I've occasionally used this just for the sake of it, where they basically, if it's, let's say, 90 pounds, they take 30 pounds out now, and then on each month on the exact same day, they will take an additional 30 pounds until it's paid off. And so that's what they're talking about there. Interest-free financing, which is scary. At least with the other one, you've got to make sure you have the money, and they will pull the money. This one over here can get you into severe trouble. Players purchasing eligible hardware through Amazon can take advantage of zero APR financing up to 12 months. And if you don't pay it off in that time, you'll probably get 50% interest. We are working with retail partners on new programs to provide previously played consoles at lower prices. Players who are ready to upgrade or are no longer use their consoles will be able to trade it in with participating retailers for a cash or store credit. I mean, most places do this, I guess, and you can get a refurbished one, and you can save up to $100. Yeah, the problem is most people are idiots. I was an idiot once. I got myself into so much debt. I don't like it, man. I learned from it. Don't get me wrong. I'm a lot smarter now than I was before, but the most I do anything is like that Amazon buy now pay over 3 months. I know I've got the money, I just don't want to pay it all in once. When they take out a small amount from my account every month, that doesn't affect me. Everyone loves that. Back, Microsoft still has PC to fall back on. They just have to ride the tide for the next 2 years. Yeah, but PC isn't really helping them, is it? PC hurts them. I mean, even if Sony increased their price tomorrow, it's still going to be shit. I mean, the Pro's probably going to finally hit that $1,000 mark. But the timing of all of this is just silly. Sony is losing mindshare as we speak. I mean, I don't know, man. The one thing I do know is that if they don't start pushing out, reasons to buy a PS5 Pro, and I can say one thing for certain, the younger generation, not my generation, but the younger generation, younger than me, because I'm quite young, but the younger generation, they don't care about playing games on a 4090, 5090, 6090, or anything. What they care about is running it at 120 FPS. That's what they care about. And even then, if you go down to, like the 10-year-olds and 12-year-olds, all they care about is the game running. Opal, you do? Tekken 2. I don't know. I just think this is silly. I mean, what this is all trying to do is get you mentally prepared that the Helix is going to be very expensive. And the sooner you get, into that mindset that you'll be financing your next console, the better it is going to be for you. Don't get me wrong, Sony's PS6 is going to be no different, right? It's going to be expensive. The only person right now that's actually speaking any sense on the PS6 pricing is Puerto. He's telling people openly, and people are mocking him left, right, and center, that it's going to cost over $1,000. No one's listening to him either. Everyone still thinks that the PS6 is going to launch at $600 because King Thrash is telling them that RAM prices aren't affecting consoles. And especially, it doesn't affect PlayStation users. Hey, Diablo. Yeah, let that one sink in. I mean, vague. Some people are special, I'd recommend buy a console if you want. I mean, that's the thing. If you want a console, buy it now. Like, this is crazy. This is the craziest generation I've seen in a long time, where the people that bought a launch console, whether it's the PS5, Xbox Series S and X, or the PS5 Pro, even, they are winning. If you were the type of person that you're gonna wait for I'm gonna wait for like a year or two before I upgrade so the prices can go down, man, you must be in for a real shock. It sucks. It sucks. The first Berserker Con is a good game. The problem is, Navy, once the Rampocalypse goes away, which at some point it will go away, the prices ain't coming back down. Right? Because as long as people are buying them now, those prices are not going to go down because they can see that people are willing to buy it. If the market is there at these prices, they have no reason to reduce them. But the price increase for the Xbox consoles, which, as we can see here, right? The Series S has gone from 400 to 500. I think that's actually now more. Is that now more expensive than the base PS5? I'm pretty sure the Series S is now on par with the PS5. That's crazy. But the 1 terabyte Series X has gone to $800. And the all digital is $50 off at $750. These are crazy prices, man. But they are just done with subsidizing. They've just turned around and said, we're not subsidizing these hardwares anymore. We're selling them at cost value. Because if you remember the interview Ashes had recently, she said, we're losing between $100 to $200 per machine. And these price increases line up with that perfectly. With what she said, these price increases line up with that perfectly. They're done subsidizing. I think, you know, they're selling it as close to cost as they can get. Yeah, it is ghosty. The question is, though, who's next? Will Sony and Nintendo follow suit? Isn't this like the third price increase now from Microsoft in 2 years? It wouldn't surprise me, Ant-Man. I know Sony's a little more prepared for this stuff because they brought in huge shipments before the whole thing got out of hand. But it wouldn't surprise me, 6 months down the line, or if they're going to do it in a couple months before GTA gets released. Because the timing of this is pretty straightforward, right? Pre-orders have come out for this for GTA. Let's increase the price in a couple of months. Anyone that wants it can panic buy right now. But for the rest of the people that want to wait until November, you're going to pay a premium just to be able to play GTA 6. And they're relying on GTA 6 to make the sales. Xbox ain't closing down. They may just go back to their roots, which is, being a Windows platform for gaming, but they're not closing down. Asha is the last attempt to keep Xbox. It is. She is. I think this is it for them. Whatever she's gonna do to right the ship, and whatever her plan is in that mystical noggin of hers, she's got to do what she's got to do to make Xbox an affordable business, but not subsidizing your console at all is it's a bold move. Ron, do you remember last year I said that the future is cloud gaming and that's where they're going to push everything? Because I could see it. Cloud gaming is ultimately where they want to be. But the infrastructure just isn't there globally for it to work. Negan, if the era of subsidizing is off, they can get rid of the Xbox Live portion of Game Pass. They don't need it. That Xbox Live portion of Game Pass was what was partly subsidizing the consoles and everything else. So, they shouldn't double dip then. Anger? What, me, Void? I'm not angry. That's it. They'll keep doing it as long as people pay for it. Is the Nextcloud option on its own now $9.99? I didn't realize. We all knew over a year ago subsidies were ending. I mean, we knew that they may not subsidize the future machines, but the current machines, there's no reason for them not to subsidize. Yeah?
She chased the squirrel to the bushes. Look at her. She's got things all over her. And she dragged me to the bush.
Let me see her.
Look.
Come here.
Yes.
1 second, chat.
She dragged me to the bush. Wait, Spooler.
No, she's off. I was going to bring Luna to do her cameo appearance. Apparently, she saw a squirrel out on her walk, and she bolted straight after it and dragged my wife with her into the bushes. Wish I was recording. Wish I was there to see it. Sorry. Sony will increase prices next year. I think console gaming for the casual audience is dead, and a lot of gamers will choose cloud or quitting next gen. I can see that. In fact, I've actually a couple. I would say about 2 or 3. It's not a lot, but like I've been speaking to a few people, and a few of them have already said that next generation they're just switching to cloud gaming. Thank you for the 5, Jimmy. They've said they're just straight up switching to cloud gaming. And that's going to be their main way of playing. If the game isn't available on cloud, they're just not going to play it because it's just a lot more sustainable. They don't have hardware to worry about. They have a low premium per year to worry about. And that's it. They don't have to worry about anything else. PCs are expensive to build as well, Steve. Like I said. Yes, Rachie. I mean, you guys know I use cloud a lot, and I don't have any problem with it. Hey, everyone, you should listen to what Struggle is saying right now. He's saying a certain service is on sale right now and works great with PC and Xbox Game Pass, with PC, Xbox Game Pass. It works with Xbox Ultimate as well. And, you can use it on your TV and stuff. I'm just saying, I can't exactly see what service is talking about there, but I'm guessing you guys can read. My glasses aren't clear enough. But that service there is something that you can do. Steal one? Nah. I mean, I could send Gorsty to go searching. I don't want him to come back with another lawnmower, though. That doesn't really work with my PC. The beatings will continue until morale improves. Gaming is a luxury? It is. But it never used to be. I mean, if you go by the literal definition, I guess you can say it always has been. But it used to be an affordable way of entertainment. There's nothing wrong with Xbox X Cloud. I just wish they switched over to the Series X blades instead of the Series S. There's a paper scouser with a system to steal. I don't know. I'll have to contact this mystical scouser. Who said PlayStation Cloud is better? I mean, they do have 4K streaming now, if I'm not mistaken. But I've not used their cloud stuff in over a year and a half now, maybe? I can't remember the last time I tried PlayStation Cloud at all. Should we worry about Xbox with these price increases? Mandalorian, worry about in what way? if you're talking about the next console price, it's going to be pricey. But what they're saying here is, hey, we've got a solution for you. You can pay in installments and go on finance to get them. xCloud is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's got great latency as well. I use it on my Xbox LIX. It's just easier for me to jump into the cloud with that one. But no, Mandalorian, at the moment, nah. This is all just part of them restructuring, repositioning Xbox to be in the place it needs to be. They're done subsidizing, and they're basically now going to sell stuff at face value. That's the scary part, that we're going to sell the stuff at face value. Because that can get really, really expensive, right? Really expensive, especially with the next gen supposedly supposed to be as powerful as, prophesized graphics cards that aren't released yet. Why is xCloud so mid compared to the PlayStation Cloud? Like I said, I haven't used PlayStation Cloud in a long time. I can't really judge it. All I know is that Xbox supports 1440p if you're on Game Pass Ultimate. PlayStation Premium supports up to 4K. That's when it comes to PlayStation streaming, that's all I know, man. I've only used it a few times, mainly on the gachas using the PlayStation Portal. It's been okay for the most part. Sometimes it's been a bit iffy, even when I'm in the same room. It's not perfect, but it works. And the Portal is a pretty good companion for it, even though I hardly use that now because I got my Xbox LIX, which connects to everything. Series X is better than PC and PS5. But PC gets everything Xbox gets. And more. PC has all our exclusives. They take everything. And they don't give anything back. Where's my Half-Life Alyx on Xbox? That's what I'm talking about. Man, chat stopped. Sorry, I'm going straight to the bottom. If I missed your chat, feel free to real. Should we worry about the Hellblade franchise? I think there's potential room to worry about it. If they are actually being, yeeted out and they can't find an investor, then from what I've heard, they will retain their IP, and so they'll be gone with their IP. They do, Steve. You're getting RV there yet? I didn't mean this. Discontinue the Series S. Offer a buyback program to get the Series X for cheaper and double down on the Xbox ROG Ally. The problem with the ROG Ally is that it doesn't play native Xbox games, so it's a good way to get into PC gaming because it does run a lot of things fairly well. Not everything, but most games it runs fairly well. So it's definitely a good way to get into PC gaming. But you can't say anything negative about the Series S. Whether some might agree with you or not, it's a contentious topic. It always is. Congratulations on those who pre-ordered GTA 6. Well, I guess I'm not one of those to receive a congratulations. What about congratulating me for not pre-ordering GTA 6? Like I said, Gogo, I haven't tried it. So I can't comment on it. That's all I know. On the Portal, you're not getting anything like that in terms of 4K or anything. You're just stuck on the 1080p display. You're regretting buying a 7800 XT? It's a good card. Oh, look at Billy over there. Look at him. Someone give him a pat on the back. He thinks he's special. What was the performance like? I never did check it on the ROG. Not really, Mandalorian. Whether they get rid of the Series S now or not is irrelevant because they still need to support it. And the Series S is cheaper to manufacture. So, honestly, it's better for them to have the Series S now than it isn't. That's good. (1080p, 50 plus FPS, which occasionally dipped. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Now, if you had cloud gaming, you could have got solid 60. Just saying, just putting it out there. There's still a rumor floating around that Xbox might be developing in a handheld still. Look, I don't think they'll be looking at anything like that for the near future. I think what Xbox needs to do right now is sort their own house out, get everything. We're going to see a lot of horrible things coming out from the Xbox division over the next 80 days until they've got to a point where they're happy. And they're going to continue restructuring, continue downsizing, continue laying off people until they're at a point where she believes the business is now self-sustainable. And that's really what it comes down to. I mean, I would be very surprised if we don't see layoffs across the whole industry. Right? I would be very surprised. I mean, Raichi, Sony just literally confirmed that for Horizon Zero Dawn, they pretty much built parts of the game with full AI. And no one batted an eye and no one cares. But because she works in AI, it's a problem. The double standards are pretty strong here, right? So if Microsoft came out and made that statement in their earnings call about how they're utilizing AI and how they're going to push AI going forward, Microsoft and Xbox would have been absolutely stomped on. They would have been destroyed. They would have been the talking piece for the next 6 months. It's really weird. Sony's allowed to use AI, but Microsoft isn't. AI is here to stay, man. It's not going anywhere, and it's going to become more prevalent. It's going to be in our games. People just need to accept that. Ink, you're right, but you're mistaken in one thing. GTA 6. GTA 6 is the only reason they can do this now and try and get away with it. And they're telling you, hey, GTA 6 is coming in November. We're giving you till August, unlike what Sony did, where they gave you 10 days. We're giving you over a month to go out there and buy yourself an Xbox. If you want one, get it at the current price. GTA 6 is coming. Play it here. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay the new premium. Oh, sorry, it's my pen. I didn't realize it's coming through. My bad. The last GTA I actually bought was GTA 2. Or was it GTA London? I like those games. Future standard games. I mean, yeah, I can see it. I mean, people are going to try and do this. They're going to try and push the prices up. Make no mistake. Now that GTA has done it, and the one thing I don't like what GTA has done, what Take-Two has done, is that they've locked content inside the game for the Ultimate Edition only. So they've basically walled off a part of that content, and whether you can unlock that later, which is unclear, there's no confirmation that you can, or if you can buy into it with an upgrade. But if it's there, it should be accessible. Now, I don't mind them charging me, say, $100, $100 or $120, which is what Rockstar normally do, right? Their Ultimate Editions are normally $129, but I'm guessing because of the whole we're giving you a digital only game and other stuff, they've decided against that to try and ease that decision through. But if they offered like, hey, look, for this $100, you get an extra like expansion DLC that provides like 5 or 6 missions, I've got no problem with that. But blocking off content that's in the game is stupid, because that just opens it up and people are going to pay for it just so they can get that extra content. And so now in the future, you're going to have games going, right, you've got the base game, but if you want to experience the full game, you've got to pay a bit more because we've got extra content in game that's over here that's going to have you didn't pay. So you can't go and do that dungeon to get all that sweet, sweet loot. And you can't go over here to get that dungeon to get that sweet, sweet loot. You got to pay for extra money to open that door. It's not extra content. That's what I'm saying. But it's going to go in that direction. It's a slippery slope. When microtransactions first came out, it was one item, right? I remember Destiny's Deej turning around and saying, it's just a sparrow. Now it's a theme park full of merch. In fact, there's more content in Destiny's microtransaction store than there is in the game in terms of unlockable content. It's a slippery slope. So I don't like it. But if I was to buy GTA 6, I would go for the $100 one, 100%. I wouldn't go for the lower end model. I don't want no restrictions on where I can go and what I can get in the game. That would piss me off if I saw it. So that would get me straight away. Ghost, if you're talking about the Vice City stuff, no, it's not just cosmetics. It's actual locations in the game that you cannot visit. It's different, Ghosty. It's different. This is actual stores and locations that you can visit in the game that you cannot. You can't interact. You can't do anything with. It's different. Hey, Devastator. Hey, amazing looking lounge. What kind of amazing stuff are you up to today? I'm just being cool. I know how people are looking forward to GTA and they're going to pay whatever they want. I just don't think it was needed for them to do that. I think it was so unnecessary. It's not even worth being a talking point. They could have just added extra content or just, done something else. I've got to get rid of this pen. Sorry. Pen's gone. Pen is officially gone. They could have got rid of the content. Not rid of content. They could have added, actual downloadable content that's a mission or something. I'd be okay with that. Remember what happened to EA with microtransactions? Yeah, but the problem is GTA is just one of those games that people have been looking forward to for so long. But I know that I can't go to those places and get it. So it bugs me. Anyway, like I said, I haven't played GTA since GTA London. Did that come before or after GTA 2? I can't remember. I can't remember which one it was that I last played. That was it. And so GTA isn't for me anyway. Do you think the next move for these games companies is to raise the game up to 120 for Ultimate Editions? I mean, they kind of are already, right? Most companies charge 120, 130 for their Ultimate Editions. So GTA, if you're looking at it that way, Take-Two is charging you less for their Ultimate Edition. I think Red Dead launched at 120. Red Dead 2 Ultimate Edition launched at 120. So when you're looking at it in that sense, they are actually selling it to you, for $20 less. I just like lassoing people in Red Dead safe and dragging them along. I know that sounds wrong, but it was fun. But does anyone actually think that GTA is going to have bad sales? No, not a lot, not at all. And that's why Microsoft is increasing their prices now and telling people, hey, go get it now. Get it now and pay the cheaper price. Or get it later and you're going to pay the premium. But if you get it later, because it's more expensive, you can go and get it on finance. And so I think that's going to be what they bank on in the future. I do see, eventually Nintendo having another price increase. I could see Sony having another price increase. It just feels inevitable. I think we will come to a point where price increases stop once the RAM prices stabilize. Hey, Mr. Nice Guy. I'm going to camp, taking all but one out. That's the remaining guy. Yeah, Ghosty. Yeah, stuff like that was really fun. Have a good night, Paul. Yeah, Paul. If you can or if you're allowed, let me know on DM what your what the next game is. Don't worry, I won't reveal it to chat. I'm not like that. I'll just tease them that I know. But have a good one, Paul. Get some good rest. I think GTA 6 is going to break all records. I think it's going to probably sell somewhere in the region of about 50, maybe even 60 million. I mean, what is it? Wukong? Was it Wukong or Crimson Desert that hit 30 million sales already? That's crazy, right? I think it was Wukong, maybe. And 15 million of that was just in China alone. GTA 6 selling 5 million. What, on Xbox? Crimson Desert is at 6 million, then it's Wukong. Yeah, it did. Wukong in 1 month sold 25 million in its first month. And I'm not gonna say that because I'll get pulled aside for, even if it is descriptively true. I'm just not going to say it. I'm not. I'm already being harassed left, right, and center with idiots. I can't be taking anything being clipped out of context. Not for the time being. I didn't like it, Steve. Like I bought it for my son because he wanted it. He originally wanted it for Xbox because back then he was playing on Xbox. In fact, I think the constant games that got cancelled on Xbox, delayed on Xbox by a year, was the reason he eventually went to PC because he was sick of it. But so I got it for him on Steam on my account, and because we do family sharing. And I think he gave it like a 7 out of 10. He said it wasn't all that great. He said he completed it. It wasn't that hard. It was nothing compared to Elden Ring, he said, because that was the big game he played before that. And he just said, at best, it's a 7 out of 10. It's an okay game. Nice one. Nice one, Byron. Powerworld sold 25 million. Yeah, see, Powerworld sold a lot because of the hype. I don't think GTA needs any hype. It's like Helldivers 2. Realistically, Helldivers 2 is a decent game. But the way people went crazy over it and the hype that it built was astronomical. Hype sells games, man. It does. And Microsoft is hoping that the hype of GTA is going to sell the console. I don't know. I don't think this was the right decision, personally. I think it was the wrong decision. And they made a big mistake with this, man. Devastator. I reckon GTA in its first day is going to probably do about 30 million copies. Goggle, that's probably part of the reason why I mean, if you ask 2K, they're probably expecting to sell like 50 to 80 to 90 million, right? But they've split the online multiplayer, which I believe they're going to be selling that to you as well. It's going to be sold as a separate package. And so they're going to monetize off that. And then in a year's time, they're going to double dip with all of that on PC and get them to buy it as well. So they thought this one through really good. And yeah, I think they'll be fine. No, the online isn't included with the Ultimate Edition. The Ultimate Edition just gives you access to the storefronts with the cosmetic items in the game. If you don't have the Ultimate Edition, I don't know even. You might be able to go into those stores, but you can't purchase any of the stuff in there. It's just for having access to more cosmetic items in the game that you may or may not use. Yeah, I mean, there's like combining between PlayStation and Xbox. There's like what 140 million consoles out there. Like I said, I think they can sell to half of those. No, GTA 5's online didn't sell. Didn't release same time. It released later as well. Yeah, it was delayed. They do the online staggered, so people can play the main game first, enjoy it, and then they release it as a second kind of hyped launch bundled with it, and then they'll do like a hey, for those of you that didn't buy GTA at the beginning, here's like a bundled thing coming at you at once, or you can get it separately. It was a 360 game. I think it's going to be standalone, Ghosty. That's what all indications are pointing at, anyway. I mean, the shark cards make bank, right? They do. They make bank. But, you know. Let's put that there. Let's put this here. Yep, that's all good. That's all organized. Let's have a look. Oh, interesting. That is an interesting one. Thanks, Paul. Haha. I know, but the rest of you don't. I think if they do that, Steve, they'd have detailed it in the Ultimate Edition upgrade. Now, the Ultimate Edition is just for the store access. I think this what they're doing there is just testing to see if people are willing to pay more for content that should be already unlocked in the game. And the answer is people are willing to pay more. And so you'll see more of it. They did Woodpit. Man, the multiplayer is the least interested part of the game I am, so that part really doesn't affect me at all, in all honesty. At the moment, multiplayer is not included in Ultimate. I don't know if they'll go that way. As long as Satya Nadella is running Microsoft, Xbox is screwed. Stormzy, Satya's already said that they're done subsidizing Xbox. So, I mean, he's made that perfectly clear that he's no longer going to be doing that. It's, he's done with that, and Microsoft is done with that. Xbox needs to be in a position now where it can be self-sufficient. They need to, deliver on their P&Ls, and that ultimately means that they can't rely on Big Papa to, manage all the finances. And if they have been, I mean, a 3% margin is crazy, right? That's insane. That's what they're working with. So, yeah, they clearly need to work on that. Are we all caught up on House of Dragon in here? I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not watching it personally. I don't know. I can see them wanting to monetize everything for GTA 6. It just costs too much money, man. I think ultimately it will also depend on how much money they make off the GTA 6 standalone. But to put a counter argument forward, one that will support what Gorsty is saying, and I don't really like siding with a Scouser. But I'm gonna put one counter argument towards supporting a free upgrade. GTA's biggest moneymaker is shark cards, and having a free entry into the multiplayer is the best way to get people to go in, try the game, and if they like it, play it, and buy shark cards. As long as they do $100 for a blue? Are you crazy? $100 for a blue? A friggin' blue? %3 is still greater than 0. Yeah, but they're so thin, Vital. It's such a thin margin that it's really, really, they basically any screw up and they're in big trouble financially as a division. Not Microsoft, but Xbox as a division is thing. But back when they didn't decide this whole kumbaya, we're gonna put everything everywhere, and they didn't ship out their games to other platforms, they had a 12% margin. So clearly something went wrong there. Oh, Microsoft has invested a metric ton in cloud. In fact, a lot of those Series X's that they can't sell, those blades are manufactured and are in the cloud, right? Because they banked on the cloud being the next revolution and hitting those 200 million subs, and they didn't do it. They didn't do it. It didn't work. They're labeling it as a single player game in the storefronts because it is. Right now, it's a single player game. I wonder how long it's going to take him or on this. It's going to be a separate entity, Jesse. And that's why a lot of people are thinking they're going to charge for it. Look. Okay, you're not talking about me, Woodpit. That's okay then. That's okay. But for those of you that really are interested in GTA, you can pre-order it right now. And you get a free month of GTA Plus if you buy it right now to use in GTA 5. What you need to know is that the moment you pre-order this game, go in and stop the reoccurring billing on GTA Plus. It starts immediately. It starts the moment you pre-order. So go in, or next month you're going to find out that you're paying for GTA Plus on a monthly subscription. They are hoping that people won't notice so they can get at least 1 free month's GTA Plus off people. I think that's quite sneaky, but that is something that that is in place right now. So if you pre-order it, go think. You mean the 100 Dreamcast guy videos? I did, Devastator. There is one that caught my eye, though. There is one that caught my eye. So we'll probably check that one out in later on in the show. There is one that caught my eye. I'm eager to see what he actually said. Because it looked like he was about to blow up his face. Oh, I never actually thought about that, Negan. I never actually thought about that. That's actually a valid point. No, you forget about it and leave it running. Jeez, man, you ain't. Oh. That's a valid point. You won't be able to refund your pre-order because you've already utilized GTA Plus. I don't see how you can actually take that back if you're not using it at all. Oh, that's kind of cold. That's really mean. The reason why I'm not going all in on Phil and Sarah because their decision got override by both Satya and Amy Hood. I mean, yeah, Satya and Amy literally run the show, and they run it into the ground. Oh, it started on March 22. My guy's been singing it since 2022. Nah, I remember one time there was this software, right? And inside the terms and conditions, the publisher put down that and it was quite far down, but if you read it, it says if you're reading this, you're entitled to £100. It was a British software. And how many people do you think they sold over? I think it was like 20,000 copies of this software. This was years ago, mind you, right? Like back in the between 2000 and 2010, early 2000s. How many people do you think rang up, contacted them for the £100? I think they sold about 20 to 50,000 copies. I know that's a big window, but how many people do you think actually rang them up for it? One? Oh, we're getting to the Bungie news in a second, Sanchez. That's the next on the topic. Yeah, Justin is gone. He stepped down today. Anyone else want to have a random guess? How many people rang up? We've only got one suggestion here. Tough crowd. Zero. Okay, well, at least Vital is a bit better than ahead of you then. So you're completely off. It is 17. 17 people out of, 20 to 50,000 people that, because I can't remember the exact number, but it was somewhere in that range. Only 17 people read the terms and conditions all the way through and claimed $100. We can't ever call Reforge Gaming non-gamer because he does have a bunch of games and a bunch of trophies. I mean, the problem with Reforge is that as soon as something he finds annoying, or if the game is better than him, he just stops playing, which is weird. But no, he does play games. I'm pretty sure most of them do. AI loses money, but it makes money too. But the investors for AI is definitely they're upset because they're not getting the returns they wanted. So that's been a problem. The last thing I'll cover on the GTA side is the whole best plays on PS5 that Sony put out there. And this is what it is. There is no mention of 60 FPS on the base PS5 or the Pro. So neither of them are likely to hit the 60 FPS mark. They are probably going to be 30 FPS with a 40 FPS option with VRR to boost it up to whatever it needs. The PS5 version has dual sense haptic feedback, adaptive trigger resistance. The controller speaks to you. You've got Tempest 3D spatial audio, which I think Dolby Atmos is better, and Dolby Vision. Highly accurate audio positioning. Man, ultra high speed SSD. I can't believe they threw that one in there again. Near instant load times. These are the reasons why it's best played on PS5. Exclusive PlayStation Store pre-order bonuses, whatever they will be. And you get the free month of GTA Plus with the pre-order. It's the magical SSD all over again. All right. So I just wanted to show this one over here because, look, Steve really likes this guy. And he reached out to me on Discord and said, why don't I give this person, one of his favorite content creators, any FaceTime on my show? And you know, I'm not too keen on this guy. But I decided that because he wanted me to show his favorite content creator, I will. So, hip hop gamer, Steve's most favorite content creator, Grand Theft Auto 6 is truly exposing how ungrateful gamers are. This is a really bold statement, right? It's amazing that the real corporate greed has actually developed entitled gamers. Like, who the fuck is he talking to? Everybody cheap. Everybody complains about something. Are the YouTube checks worth it to be always angry at a medium y'all claim to love and grew up on? Nah, people just want affordable games and affordable gaming. That's all they want, man. We've got hundreds of games to play now through subscription models, free games coming to us on a monthly basis. In the 90s, we begged to have the things we actually got now. And nope, y'all, what did we beg on in the 90s that we actually have now? I'm curious. What did we actually beg on in the 90s that we have now? Keep in mind, this is the same guy that said PlayStation 6 is going to have Steam on it. Right? This is the same guy that said PlayStation 6 is going to have Steam on it. He's just saying how people are just ungrateful and entitled, right? Ungrateful gamers and entitled gamers, because people are complaining about the $20 increase. Because people have an opinion that's different from his. There are some people who accept it and are perfectly fine with it and have no problem with having content that's in-game locked away with a paywall. And there are others who do have a problem with it. But apparently, because you have a problem with paying an extra, it's not even about paying the extra $20. It's the principle that people have a problem with it. But apparently that makes us entitled gamers. But everybody is cheap. So because he has money and he can spend it how he wants and he doesn't really have to worry about money, he's looking down on everyone and calling everyone peasants, right? Everybody complains about something. I mean, it's in our nature. It's literally in the human DNA to complain. It is literally, I mean, you come to Britain and that is literally the number one thing we do. It's true. That and queuing. We love to queue for some reason. I don't know why, but we do. It's got nothing to do with the YouTube checks. Well, maybe for some people it will do. It's not for me. But Damn straight it's Cheapo's Lounge. One day I'm gonna make it big, Devastator. One big. One day. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. But one day I'll make it big. I'm very trying to out keep. It's true. It's true. Nah, he's just basically sucking up to corpos, which is what he normally does. He is very pro corpo. Yeah, hip hop. He is very pro corpo. He won't let you talk bad about any corporation because he gets a lot of sponsorships. So he's probably being sponsored by GTA as well in some fashion, I assume. Maybe, maybe not. But he gets a lot of sponsorship, so he will not let anyone. I mean, Steve knows him best. Steve loves this guy. No, I said content creator. I'm showing your number one content creator, hip hop gamer. You love this guy, and so he said he's going to make a video, basically talking about how everyone is cheap, everyone is poor, and that they can't afford to pay money to buy or pay $80 or $100 to buy a game. Which is it's kind of special. But like I said, don't forget, this is the guy that said 100% that PlayStation 6 is going to have Steam. He said, he said it's going to have Steam. I guarantee you he'll be nowhere found when it launches without Steam. That guy isn't even going to be on social media on that day when the PS6 gets announced without Steam. He's just going to hide. Yeah, inflation doesn't work that way though, Vital. Because our cost of living is trampled upon. Our salaries don't increase with inflation, so it doesn't work. Things are way more expensive now than they were back then, so that just doesn't work. The inflation argument never worked. I used to do, 20 years ago, we used to do like £25 groceries. Now it's like almost 200. My salary, it's crazy. We used to pay £10 a week for electric. Now I'm paying way more than that. So, but yeah, Blockbuster Video used to be big, right? Back in those days. I mean, games in the 90s, I mean, how far back are 90s are we going? Because in the 90s, you also had like the Commodore 64, the Amstrad, and games back then used to be £2.99. You could get games for 99 pence. You could even get it for £1.99. I think the most expensive game that I had back then was Last Ninja free, which cost me £9.99. That was the most expensive game I played. But most of my games used to cost anywhere between 99 pence and £2.99. Then we went to the Mega Drive and we bought a couple of games, and there was a shop where we go to. We just used to go and trade them in and get other games. There was always ways to do it. I didn't know you could rent consoles in the 90s. That I didn't know. Maybe I did and I can't remember. I don't know. I just remember walking into Dixon's, if anyone remembers that store. My dad took me with my two older brothers into Dixon's and I saw the original FIFA and I was like, "Oh my god. This is the most realistic football game I have ever seen and I want it. And I want it. I have to have it." Go back and check out what that original FIFA game looked like. If you ever get a chance. Blockbusters? Yeah, I vaguely remember they might have done it. Because I used to use Blockbusters a lot, man. Used to drive down from my place to our local Blockbuster, pick up a movie, drive back home, and watch it. None of this Netflix stuff. We actually had to leave the house, man. Get something, get those steps in. There was no risk of getting mugged back then, walking in at night, or even getting stabbed or anything. It was pretty safe. Do you know what, Woodpit? It was something different. I used to go to Blockbuster with the missus, and we just used to like scan the movie section, like get 2 or 3 movies. I might have picked up a game as well. I think you could rent like up to 3 or 4 items at a time in Blockbuster. I don't know. The whole experience was just different. Yeah, I remember that, Gogo. You going outside? Steve, yo, I understand you can't right now. It is a wondrous thing if it can actually happen. So, Bungie. Let's get on to the Bungie news because this is, and we've got a video to go with this as well. It says, Captain Bungo says, with great sadness, we are announcing a reduction in force as we reorganize Bungie. The reduction in force is basically everyone that worked on D2, which is half the company, which is around 400 people. The leaders of Bungie, past and present, we recognize Destiny 2 fell short of expectations. Well, yeah, because that was on Sony. And I'm going to show you why later on. It was on Sony and Bungie, to be fair, but it was on Marathon ultimately. These past several years, following our final content update to Destiny 2, and with our future projects, still in early incubation, we unfortunately could not continue operating at our previous size. Keep in mind, Bungie started off as, when they joined Sony, as a studio of 1,600 people. By the end of this culling, there will be 400. It's pretty shocking. We know this decision has a profound impact on the people affected, their families, friends, and teammates. While these changes are necessary to best position the studio now and for the future, I mean, this makes no sense at all. That does not lessen the difficulty of this moment or the impact it has on those affected. Later, we will share more about the future with you all, but today is not that day. So they might have projects that they're working on. Today, we wish to extend our gratitude and compassion to every member of the Bungie team who has been impacted, and to those who remain, we hope you will do the same. Bungo. Yeah, they are getting rid of a lot of people. And so I wanted to play this video. It's not long at all. And I think he sums up a lot of this pretty well, and the poor decisions that ran through, and some of the bad decisions that came from both Sony and Bungo and whatnot. John just asked to be banned. Why? What did John say? Jono, what did you say? I can't see. Maybe you got banned already. Hey, Bags, how's it going? When Pony said the previous Bungie layoff is a studio decision, not Sony. No. This whole thing is a Sony decision. It's been a Sony decision all along. Every single layoff decision that's come from Bungie has been a Sony decision. The only aspect that Bungie has been able to, manage is who gets laid off. Right? That's it. He said Marathon was the second best game. My God. Then again, he said Assassin's Creed is the best franchise in the world, and we all know it's Final Fantasy, so he can't be that correct. Our Banisher, they're coming for you now. That was probably one of the biggest things that they did that hurt them so much, Steve. The Destiny content vote, like my fire team that I had, that we played regularly on the game, both of them quit. Right? The ones that I played regularly with 3-player content, we did have like 6-player teams as well, but the majority of them, as soon as the content vote came in, they quit. They just said they're not prepared to pay for content that's going to be taken away. And when you look at, our MMORPGs like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, I mean, how big is Final Fantasy 14? And not a single piece of content has really gone away. It may have been rearranged a little bit, sure, but it's not gone away. Everything that you could play is still there. They have changed some stuff, but it's still there. Right? Removing the Destiny content vote was the biggest mistake they did. But, I mean, the engine that they were using was so bad. I don't know if you guys know, but let's say, for example, and this is real, right? This is a real example. A piece of rock in Destiny, they wanted to move 4 pixels to the left. In order for them to do that, they would have to make those changes on the front end, and then it would take almost to next day before they could actually see what it was. And if it didn't work right, they have to change it again and then wait till the next day to see what it looks like and if they're happy with it overall. It took like a whole day for it to render a build for them to be able to test. Like, how do you even work under those conditions? It's crazy. But anyway, let's check out this video.
This is so sad. Bungie has finally announced the upcoming layoffs, the impending doom that we've been talking about for months now. They said on their official Bungie account, with great sadness, we are announcing a reduction in force as we reorganize Bungie. And if you don't know, this would be the 3rd round of layoffs for them in just a few years' time. As the leaders of Bungie, past and present, we recognize Destiny 2 fell short of expectations these past several years. So again, the layoffs are focused specifically on Destiny 2, not on Marathon, which if you don't know right now, there's about 400 people working on Destiny 2. And I imagine they're going to get completely gutted and we'll be left with a skeleton crew, which isn't just depressing for Destiny 2. I mean, that's expected. They said that there was going to be an end of service. So, of course, the entire team for that game is going to leave. But the issue is more that if everyone gets laid off, like if just the whole team is completely wiped out, there's definitely no Destiny 3 from Bungie, which might be a good thing in some ways, because clearly, after 3 consecutive rounds of layoffs in such a short period of time, this group really, really struggles to make good Destiny content, or at least...
I mean, just keep in mind, they originally had a team of 1,600 making content for Destiny. And then they cut that down to 1,200, then to 800, and then to 400. And they're expecting that 400 to do the same level of output that everyone else was doing. Don't get me wrong, 400 is still a good number of people, but the size of the updates that were being released per expansion was massive. And this is on top of periodic updates that they were doing throughout the year as well, right? So it's not like all 1600 was working on just the expansion. You've got the upkeep, you've got the maintenance, you've got the additional content throughout the year, which usually had 2 updates that were working on it. So it was like a big organic thing. But you reduced all of that to 400 people. It's crazy. No, this isn't what Xbox is doing. This is totally different. This is worse. This is worse. This is not what Xbox is doing. And on top of that, what they've actually done over the last 4 years, is that they've taken they've taken resources constantly away from Destiny and pushed it to Marathon. And so they took the PvP team away from Destiny to Marathon. So PvP just became an afterthought now in Destiny, which in reality, the PvP was the actual bridge that kind of held during the downtime. It's what everyone would play during the downtime. That when there was a content drought, PvP was fun back then. But it hadn't really been updated in ages. You got no map packs, no real update to content. The abilities never got balanced at all. It was just a shit show. All for Marathon. Like, they completely sacrificed Destiny 2 years ago. Like, the plan to destroy Destiny was there in the making way before. Fun fact, though, back when Destiny 1 was first introduced and the original contract with Activision came out, Bungie wanted to make Marathon back then in 2013. They wanted to make it back then from all those years ago. It was in the original contract. And Activision said, when we recover 375 million or something, whatever it was, when the game sales hit 375 million, you can take 5% of the company resources, of Bungie resources, and dedicate it to Marathon. So Marathon isn't just something that's just appeared out of nowhere. It was there from the original inception of Destiny. They always wanted to do this. Navy, yeah. That's exactly what they did that, yeah. They took a portion of the devs into Sony and they called that division LFG. And the incubation project is Gummy Bears. It's a cross between Super Smash Brothers and Dota, whatever that looks like. But its entire purpose of doing that was so they would not release it on Xbox. But hey, Xbox will still release on PlayStation day and date. Let's go.
Good Destiny content that has mass appeal, right? There's some good things that have been made in the last few years, of course. Following our final content update on Destiny 2 and with our future projects still in early incubation. Oh, really? What are these projects in early incubation, you said? There's really only 2 things, right? Like it's a Destiny 1 remastered or it's Destiny 3. I mean, it better not be this. Could you imagine? Like,
guys, look. This is what they were doing in their spare time. Former Bungie dev says a Destiny dating sim was actually made internally and was very Dream Daddy inspired. They actually made it internally instead of working on bloody content for the game. But leadership was a hard no because they thought nobody wanted romance or silliness. They actually made a goddamn Destiny dating sim and then pitched it to Sony. And thank God Sony told them to fuck off. Like, there was something fundamentally wrong in that studio. Where do I say no? Like, when people were talking about these people that were going in and changing the core structure, the core kind of ethos of the studio and making games come out in these weird and stupid ways that no one was asking, these activists, you could say, this is what they're talking about. These idiots were destroying the company internally, wasting time on shit like this when they could have actually been working on content to make the game better. Look, I know for a fact he didn't want that. But if he did, you need to have words with him, Bullets.
Hey guys, listen, we've been cooking up something, and yeah, it's gonna be a Destiny dating sim. And they said we unfortunately could not continue operating at our previous size. It's about 850 people. Our last
Gummy Bears is just a code name for whatever the new game's going to be.
Estimation, and that's coming from insiders and third-party sources. We know this decision has a profound impact on the people affected. Yeah, like there's losing their job, especially this is going to be people that have been working there for the beginning of Destiny, their families, friends, and teammates. While these changes are necessary to best position the studio now and for the future, that does not lessen the difficulty of this moment or the impact it has on those affected. And I've said this many times before, which is that Bungie as a studio may have lost their way. Their culture may have changed and maybe gotten a little too weird, but there are people working there, and it's...
And that's what I mean, right? The culture that was, there at when they first released Destiny, and when they first released, when they released The Taken King, when they released Forsaken, that culture disappeared once we got somewhere towards, Lightfall. It completely and utterly vanished into something that was so weird. It just became, the decisions that were made in the writing and everything, some of it just doesn't make sense.
Definitely sad to see those people lose their jobs and their families get affected by this, which is why it's never my intention to attack those people or to cause them any sort of harm or anything, right? Like, don't harass the people at Bungie. We tend to focus on the channel here on discussing and debating the different ideas and the decisions that Bungie made more so than anything, because while it is extremely sad that we've gotten to this position, we did get here through a series of bad decisions. Later, we will share more about that future with you all. Oh, but today is not that day. Interesting. So at some point in time, they're going to share their future on their incubation project. Today, we wish to extend our gratitude and compassion to every member of the Bungie team who has been impacted and to those who remain. We hope you will do the same, Bungie. Oh, man. Guardian down. This is so sad, man. And it all could have been prevented. We didn't need to go down this route. I will say, though, that there is...
There was no need for that. Did you guys hear that? There was no need for that. There was no need for that, man. Come on. There was no need for that. There was no need for that. Listen.
Hey, interesting. So at some point in time, they're going to share their future on their incubation project. Today, we wish to extend our gratitude and compassion to every member of the Bungie team who has been impacted and to those who remain. We hope you will do the same, Bungie. Oh, man. Guardian down. This is so sad, man. And it all could have been prevented. We didn't need to go down this route. I will say, though, that there is some silver lining to this, in my opinion, which is that if Bungie does go through this period of time where they have to learn from their mistakes that they made, there could be a massive shift in their culture. And if so, the Bungie that emerges from this could be one that can actually make good games again. Like maybe this...
Oh, you didn't hear it? When he said, we hope you will do the same, Bungie, and then it said Guardian down. As they ripped the Guardian down voice from the game and put it in here. There was no need for that. There was no need for that. That was just...
is what Bungie needed to go through to sort of find their way and to get back to proper form. It sucks that Destiny 2 had to catch a stray for this, but I do hold out the tiniest inkling of optimism that maybe Bungie will realize the error in their ways and get back to making games that people want to play. Because if you're completely unaware, if you haven't been paying attention, Marathon is not that game. Look at this. Marathon just hit its lowest 24-hour peak.
And this is what Sony is doubling down on, right? Sony have said that they are doubling down on Marathon. They believe that this is the game for them that will lead them to success. This is what they believe. Now, what they're doing is they're getting rid of Destiny, and they know Marathon is going to fail. And then they're going to say, well, Marathon kind of sucks and the numbers suck. So we're just going to take the staff that we want and then get rid of the rest and close down Bungie for all. I mean, this is the future that Bungie holds. Those numbers aren't good.
Peak player count, 9,000 people at its peak. This is the first time in recorded history that Marathon has gotten this low. How crazy, right? Less than 10,000 people was never seen in season 1. We're not even finished with the first month of season 3. There's still more than 2 months left, and we're already hitting record low numbers.
That spike that you saw there was when the game was free to play for that 2 weeks.
This game is absolutely doomed. And I think the worst part and the most terrible messaging of all of this is that this game sucks. This game's terrible, right? This game is burning money left and right. And yet we're killing Destiny 2. What the hell, man? It's just so tragic.
Keep in mind that on June the 9th, Destiny 2 had 170,000 176, almost 108,000 people, I think, playing the game, which is almost double, or it is double, of what the highest ever peak of what Marathon ever had. Additionally, for the next week and a bit, they had over 130,000 people playing the game concurrently. Obviously, it's eventually going to start dying down because there's no content, right? There's no future. Once you've seen what it is, there's nothing else coming. If your build is good enough at the moment, then you don't even have any reason to farm anymore because there's no future for that content. So you're just there to check out the content, check out the way the game says goodbye, get the moments of triumph, play a bit of sparrow racing, and then that's it. You're yeeting out. So yeah, you know, I've seen a lot of Marathon players saying, oh, but the number's going to go down. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Of course it is. What live service game, after they've announced that there's no more support coming, is going to maintain those numbers? I mean, Final Fantasy would, but, you know, that's different.
That the failure of Marathon, by extension to some degree, not completely, but by some degree, also dragged Destiny down and into an early grave. Right? We never got to see the Shattered Cycle. We never got to see the Alchemist. We never got to see that whole Witness narrative come to fruition in the appropriate timeline because Bungie took...
Because that's the other thing. After you defeated the Witness, you found out that the Witness was going rogue. But the Winnower was the one that basically allowed it all to take place. But you never really met the Winnower. But you know that the Winnower is basically the opposite of the Traveler. So there was a massive story there that was building that would have been really amazing. And the game was headed to Chicago as well as the next destination. It looked like it was going places. But unfortunately, if you actually sit down and watch the YouTube videos for the story arcs of everyone, they've all departed. Zavala's quit. Ikora is the, you know, and then you get that final message from the Winnower, which basically sets up the whole next expansion that was supposed to come. I think it's called Shattered something, and it's never going to be here. I don't know. It's this thing. Watch Destiny fan base move to Xbox's Destiny. See that if this is like the perfect opportunity, right? I know you don't want to kick a dog, kick someone down when they're down, but there's been rumors going around for Microsoft with a Halo live service Destiny style game. Now there was one that was being worked on internally over at, I think, Blizzard at the time that may have been shut down, but apparently it might actually be opened, probably with the news of Bungie's Destiny going out the way, it's opened the door for another game to come in and capitalize off that. If Microsoft managed to do that and actually knock it out of the park, they could have a really solid winner there for them. And, I would play it for sure. If it's good, that would probably be the next live service game I dive into. Unless Division 3 comes first. Thank you for the 2, Devastator. Hey, Force, how's it going?
The entire PvP team and a bunch of others, and they had them over here. Literally, Jason Jones was over here on this project, Marathon, and they were cooking up this gigantic, steaming pile of dog shit. And from the sounds of it, they said that Destiny 2 fell short of expectations these past several years, plural. So the idea...
That's exactly the point, Woodpit. And the point that, what they're trying to make here is you handcuffed, you held the Destiny team in shackles. How can you expect them to succeed when you've taken like 70% of their resources away from them? Which tells me and tells everyone else that has a brain that, this was set up to fail. The whole concept of this was set up to fail. Because if you constantly remove resources off the project that really is making the most money out of all the games that they're making and they're doing, that doesn't sound like a smart thing to do.
Yeah, is that it wasn't just Renegades and Edge of Fate that killed us. It was the several years leading up to this, right? And we know that there was a round of layoffs here, and there was a round of layoffs during Lightfall. And so people will point to this and they will say, look, Destiny 2 has been on the decline since Lightfall. We watched an entire video about this. They missed their revenue marks by 45%. And guess what? Are you surprised? Like, this is the time when Bungie emphatically showed the world that their entire culture had changed. They launched the game with Nimbus. They launched the game with Neo Muna and a terrible narrative. You're cooking up stuff like this, like a Destiny dating sim that's inspired by Dream Daddy, which, if you don't know, it's a game where you date the other NPCs in the game, but you're a dad dating other dads. Yeah, Bungie was spending their time working on this type of...
Just let that sink in for a second. This is what the core kind of culture became at Destiny. And this is why when you see a bunch of people out there constantly moaning about these people being and influencing gaming decisions, and then this sort of thing happens, this is why they get pissed off. This is why they get pissed off. Just listen to it. Just listen to what he's saying again.
You're cooking up stuff like this, like a Destiny dating sim that's inspired by Dream Daddy, which, if you don't know, it's a game where you date the other NPCs in the game, but you're a dad dating other dads. Yeah, Bungie was spending their time working on this type of stuff during this period of time. So no, it's no surprise to me that the game is suffering because Bungie's culture is changing to some stuff that's just way too weird. All right, it's just way too weird. It's not what the Destiny fans want. We brought this up before, but it brings up a really good point, which is the first thing that you saw in Destiny, like this live action trailer, was marketed across the world. Tens of millions of views, if not more. This thing was huge. This is what Destiny was meant to be. Space exploration with guns. A shooter game where you shoot
Remember, right? Destiny was supposed to have animated series, a live action series, the whole works. And they just didn't do anything.
Gigantic rocket launchers and fight against the evil aliens of the Hive. This is an awesome game. And this game coming out right now, even today, would still be an awesome game. But that's not the same game that we saw in Lightfall. And those mistakes cost them in a big way. And I think that the final shape didn't deliver as well as it could have because of the disappointment of Lightfall. And from there, it was all she wrote. I mean, the episodes and Edge of Fate and Renegade.
So those episodes that they released, Renegades and Edge of Fate, were just they were tiny updates. They were just minimum effort. They weren't at all anything to write home about. They weren't the big expansions that people are used to. They added very little content, and it just wasn't fun overall, right? But you can see that once they started bringing in the activists, as they call them, which generally entered around this point here, back in 2023, the game just went down, man. And that's why people have a problem with them. But the culture at Bungie has definitely changed. And so, in some respect, they did it to themselves. But when you remove so many people off the project, you can't expect them to be making expansions at the level of Forsaken. You can't expect them to be making expansions at the level of Shadowkeep or the Witch Queen. You just can't. It's not going to happen.
It's Star Wars slop. The Bungie that made Lightfall deserved their failure. They deserved to not continue to make games. They took an IP, they took a franchise that was loved so much, and they ran it into the ground. Now, can those people be laid off? And can Bungie regroup and regather and fix their culture and focus on making a game that people want to play? I mean, anything's possible. We're pretty far in the hole right now, right? It's sad that it had to get this bad for us to even consider this, but we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. I can't help but feel like, considering Destiny 2 losing what it would seem to be its entire team, Marathon hitting its absolute lowest player count all time, and it's...
Keep in mind that this is what Herman Holst is banking on, right? This game that's not doing well, that even with its free-to-play era, didn't really make, do any splashes or waves or anything. This is what Herman Holst has decided that they're going to double down on. It just doesn't make any sense. In my opinion, this is all a play to just shut down Bungie entirely in 1 year's time. And unfortunately, I can see that happening.
Only going to get so much worse. I mean, by the end of this season, there will be like less than 3,000 people playing this game. Do you understand? It will be borderline unplayable. That's why they're turning it into a PvE game, because there's not enough people playing. They have to transition to a PvE game because you can't find matches. But it's not going to work because the PvE is such a watered down trash version of an actual PvE game that no one wants to play it. It's like running around playing a public event in Destiny 2. It's interesting for a little bit, but eventually it wears off. So unfortunately, this team too is probably going to be laid off. I don't know what's going to happen with these incubation projects.
It's an interesting, I think it's interesting. It kind of boils down what's happening at Bungie in one way or another, really. But, people turning around and telling me, oh, it's not on Sony. They're not responsible for what happens at Bungie. Excuse me? You pay $3.6 billion and you're not responsible for anything. Get the fuck out of here. What's up, Talos? Like, let's be... Chat right now. How many of you would drop $3.6 billion on a studio and then tell them, we're not going to intervene, you can do whatever the hell you like? How many people would do that? That's crazy. That's insane. Like, I will not believe that. Never in a million years. There's just no way anyone's going to tell me that you're going to drop $3.6 billion on a studio, which was way overpriced, by the way. They got robbed. They got robbed by Pete Parsons. Yo, Gorsey, I need that $3.6 billion, man. You need to invest in me. It's so stupid. Why? So they can make another Gears 5. Was House in charge of when they bought Bungie, or was it? I don't know, actually, Woodpit. I don't know. I know Matrick. You mean Jim Ryan? Wasn't Matrick Don Matrick is Xbox? So Xbox insiders are going to We're getting some cool stuff. It's available to the alpha skip ahead if you are in that. I am not. I'm in the delta. But you'll be able to do cool stuff like extend your name from 12 character limit to a 15 character limit. That's kind of cool. Now you can get those extra cool things in there that people do. I've never changed my gamer tag and I never will. 360 achievements now have a game hub because apparently people were wanting this. Why did what not have a story mode, Banisher? Marathon? It's a extraction shooter, man. The whole concept of it was to be an extraction shooter. It didn't need a story. It just had something that was there that's a skeleton to get it through. Whoop-de-doo Part 2. I guess, but I think this is a cool feature. Forza Horizon, play with cloud while your game updates. So if you get the message where Forza Horizon 6, for example, needs an update, you can update the game, jump on the cloud, and when it's done updating, it will boot up the game and let you switch over. Now, this is a cool feature. This is cool. Not what Bidoo Part 3. That one's a cool one. The other two I get, but this one is actually a good feature. This is one of my favorite. I was asking for this not long ago. Add any game to your wish list from the game card. I wanted this in the store so you can have a basket where you can put your games in, but a wish list is kind of cool. So that's nice. But I still want the basket in game on the Xbox store, which they haven't done. These are bad updates. Again, these updates are going to set you back a whopping $150 extra at $800. So you are getting all of these amazing features after August, most likely, for $800. Or you could buy your console now and get it for $650. Gaming, what? They blamed Phil Spencer for letting devs do what they wanted to work on and not intervene. They should also blame PlayStation CEO for doing 100%. There's no excuse for it, Sanchez. Sony knew what the numbers were. Sony knew what was going on. Sony is 100% also to blame for this. They may not want to do that because you can't blame Papa Sony, but there's no way that they can turn around and tell me that Sony couldn't have intervened at any point. The irony is that Destiny got a ton of help from Blizzard when they were with ABK. They did. None of that transferred when they left. They lost a lot with Activision Blizzard. That's why when Beyond Light came along, and it was a really short expansion, like really short, people gave them the benefit of the doubt because that was their first game being independent, their first expansion. Not good, man. Not good. Halo looks like it's getting some stuff happening to its multiplayer. Whether this is true or not, Halo's multiplayer future has just leaked, and it looks like the multiplayer is being moved into Unreal Engine 5 as well. Apparently, the rebirth of Project Equal, the old Tatanka mode, originally a Battle Royale Infinite mode, Battle Royale for Halo Infinite, has been completely rebooted in UE5 after 3-4 years of development. The super big team battles are coming back. The traditional Battle Royale formula is scrapped in favor of massive battles in that integrate extraction shooter mechanics. And then you've got the PvPvE scale battlefield will include the long-awaited playable elites, plus squads of Marines and Covenant bots. The entire ecosystem of vehicles and Spartans will be customizable. So it looks like we're going to get another Halo multiplayer game mode. How does people feel about that? Does anyone here still even play Halo Infinite? Or is that like a foregone memory? One second. I play Halo Infinite a few times. I've moved on. So no one really plays Halo Infinite anymore. But yeah, Bungie's gone, man. Bungie's long gone. As well as the layoffs at Bungie, we've apparently layoffs have hit Idea Xbox team as well. I thought they were doing actually a good job in what they were doing, but apparently they've been hit as well. Compulsion Games have, if you've seen my video, they've already been hit with layoffs as well. No talk on the studio closing though, which everyone was saying it was going to close, but they are losing staff members. Malcolm, that's never coming, man. They already that's a foregone memory. But yeah, it's a shame that like Bungie too, like it's a shame, man. It's a shame. Can we fast forward to 2027? We can, but all the layoffs are still going to happen. So Clutch actually had a gameplay live stream with Maverick Games, early gameplay. Was anyone interested in checking this out? I'm not going to watch it entirely, just for maybe 10, 15 minutes to see, maybe 10 minutes to see what the game is like. No, more bugs in the house. Don't come anywhere near me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't fly at me. Like the whole thing is an hour and 10 minutes, so it's a bit too long.
Hello and welcome to the inaugural, the very first Maverick Games live stream, coming to you live from the backseat of the Maverick multiplayer inside the Maverick Games office. We're going to be taking a look at Clutch. This is our very first game. There it is from the outside. That's what it looks like. This is genuinely real. We're going to be taking a look at Clutch. We're going to be looking at loads and loads of gameplay. You're going to see way more here than we've ever showed previously. We are effectively going to be running through the opening of the game. You're going to see absolutely loads. It's going to be really exciting. You're going to get some inside stories. You might see some bugs. This game is a long way from done. I'm Mike Brown. I am creative director here at Maverick Games. Joining me, all cozy, on the backseat of the multiplayer is...
It's cozy, isn't it? Hi, I'm Ben Penrose. I'm the art director here at Maverick Games.
And I'm Andy Baranowski. I am the car curator.
And for today, Andy is our driver. And honestly, that might be the last time you hear his voice. Andy is going to be focused on keeping the game going, making it all look really good. And we will speak to him. Maybe if you pop things in chat, we'll pass those questions to him. But don't expect to hear his voice again. You're probably not going to hear from Andy. He's going to be locked in, focused on making the game look ace.
Try not to crash.
And as it's going to take a sec to load, Andy, do you want to hit X and start that off? As mentioned, we are going to intro you to the game in the way that the game intros itself. So we're effectively going to play through the first hour or so of the game. We're going to jump around a little bit. We will do a few things in the interest of time, but for the most part, you're going to be experiencing it as intended, as designed, and we'll talk through some of our thinkings as we go. So the game begins in London. This is around 15 years before our main story, where we're going to meet the stars of our game. That is Theo and Cass. We're going to meet them in the backseat. Well, you know what? I'm going to let the game do the talking. I'm not going to spoil it before the game says it. Fun fact before I shut up and let the game talk. Young Theo, this little chap here, he's played by my son. So that is my son, also called Theo. And with that, I'll let the game talk.
You want to be an adult? Okay, I'll treat you like one. By the time a kid is 8 years old, the odds of me finding them a foster home are maybe 5%. And people talk. You get a reputation for running away, acting out. Soon that 5% goes down to 0. And you're right there, Theo. You're on the edge. And you're bringing your sister with you.
Bug, go away. Stupid bug.
I'm going to go back in there and talk to them. Then you're going to come in and apologise. Understand?
What's the point?
Point of what, Theo? Family?
Yeah.
Man, this is already a sequel to E-Day. A
She's
prequel,
right,
I should say.
Theo. We need a family. Theo, stop. Theo, stop.
And just to fill you in what you're
for
seeing there.
shutting
So
that off.
young Theo and Cass in the backseat of the multiplayer, getting a bit of a telling off from their social worker. They've been playing up again. Theo had tried to run away again. They're getting a telling off. Another foster place has not worked out for Theo and Cass. And after getting that telling off, Theo's thought, do you know what? We're going to run away again. And he's climbed over into the front seat and he's jumped behind the wheel of his social worker's Fiat multiplayer.
Multiplayer instead of multiplayer.
But as is often the case when little kids try and run away, they don't really get that far. He didn't really have a plan that went beyond take car. We now jump forward in time. So whereas that was set, obviously while our main characters are kids, at some point before the events of the main game, we're now seeing after the main story. So this sequence actually takes place after the main story, where we now meet Theo, adult, master of his powers, and at this point actually is kind of full vigilante.
We're now not in the UK anymore. You can tell because it's not raining. So we're in the
Looks hot,
glorious
though, so
south
it's
of France.
Looks hot, so not too different. So.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, we'll
It's
probably get a bit of a shine on
blistering
that,
here. But yeah, this is now in the south of France. This is part of our open world that we're now in. That
They're
Andy's
in
driving
France.
through.
The France. Of course, the kid went from, hey, no one wants me to be in a family, I don't want a family, straight into the life of crime.
Do you reckon these guys will leave me alone if I explain this for a good cause? Sterling idea. Why don't you pull over and try? Not to rush you, but I do have dinner plans. Yeah. Hang on, Percy. I'll think of something. Oh, yes, I know. You always do.
Good try, Tim. That's why we bring you here.
I mean, I can say graphically it looks pretty
Okay,
good.
so now we're going to jump forward, back slightly, aren't we, to a moment where Theo is in one of the street races that appear in the game. So this is with a group called the Midnight Collective, which you may have already heard us talk about a little bit in the past. But the Midnight Collective is the street racing group in the game. This is a race type that happens that for us has got a bunch of lore around it, where we present not just the race itself, but also the concept of this all being live streamed as it's happening. So as you're racing through these moments, you'll be being watched by a group of people on a live stream, and you'll start to see all these cool reactions coming through from the people watching the race, and they'll react as you would expect from when you pull off a cool stunt, you'll see them react accordingly. And we'll have a little bit more detail on how some of that stuff works when we get a bit further into the demo. We're also in a part of France as well here, which is another urban location that is not Monaco. So this in our game is called Corinne, and it's more of a fictional space, this one, based off of some areas. If you're familiar with the local area, it's loosely based off of an area called Cagnes-sur-Mer.
All right, we'll now do a little time jump again, and we're going to meet Cass for the first time. So this is the player's first chance to play with Cass, and also this is their first chance to get a feel for some of the off-road play in Clutch. Again, as with the previous sequences, this is a part of our open world, so this is somewhere that you'll be able to go and explore as part of the open world of Clutch when you jump into the game.
Just a scenic drive, nothing major. You love the smell of lavender, right? Yeah, right.
I mean, it is early development, but it is looking better than what they had before.
Oh, come on! I'm a better sister than you deserve for doing this. Theo, if I die, I'll play with you.
Smooth. We all hold our breath there because there is
No way, that car should have bounced.
No, you just about held it. Just about held it. Yes, there is a bug that can
That
cause
car
the
should have. Well, it's not
very,
cars, so.
very unnaturally spin at that
But
point.
it should
well
have
done,
bounced,
Andy,
man. There's no way those suspensions are gonna hold it like that.
You can see it's landed quite hard though.
Oh,
That
suspension
loose
never
bumper at the
right.
back is fairly loose now. It's hanging on by a thread, that mate.
Cheap build quality is
But
pretty.
where's the physics for the Jeep bouncing?
Okay, right. So now we are going to go up to present day. So this is kind of where I guess the big story that we're going to tell in this game really starts to take place. In this moment, Cass and Theo are taking part in the Riviera 1K, which is the sort of the biggest sporting institution in our gaming world. This is something that all the people of Monaco and the surrounding area and the world, in fact, are completely obsessed with. Cass and Theo are part of the team Celeste Marshall, and it is run by their adopted father here, who is Ludo. And Ludo is played by an amazing actor called Gregory Montel, who anybody from France that's watching this right now might be familiar with Gregory. So he's been in a lot of French cinema and French TV, and does a fantastic job of playing Ludo, he's an interesting, complicated character. Sometimes comes across as a better coach than he does a father.
Wait. It's a good idea. Wave.
We lose.
What they should have done is put Eric Cantona in here.
Oh, that's okay. Top 3 is fine. Okay.
Hey, come here. Your zip's low.
Oh, where would I be without you?
Hey.
But you know, it definitely looks
Miko.
better than what they had
It's your lucky
previously,
day.
in my opinion.
May got disqualified, so your brother will be losing to me by 7 places, not 8.
Oh my days, this weird guy is trying to talk trash to me. Get out of my head, man. What's your kid doing there?
Uncle Theo.
What's up, little man?
I don't know. Maybe he has something to tell you.
Oh, yeah?
You're sloppy off the line and you lack proper commitment on the first corner.
Oh. Fuck you, little man.
Any advice for me?
So
Now, you're better than
there's a couple of other things that are worth mentioning with the R1K that we're pretty proud of. So we worked really closely with a real world F1 designer,
That's a
livery
cold
designer
city
that
and
is.
kid.
So they helped us come up with all the great cool livery designs that you see on all the cars. So all those teams are ever present in every single race that you'll do. So you'll be racing against those same teams in each of the R1K events that you take part in. And as well as that, we actually did a load of work with our narrative team. So we spent the time to think about the R1K and its history. So if you go around and you speak to hopefully most members of the team here, they'll be able to tell you who was the champion of the R1K back in 1984.
Essentially, it would
all the
be,
way
yeah.
through to
Who was the champion of the R1K in 1984 then?
I think that
it
was
was.
probably the inspiration
Was it
for
Ludo?
this game.
Yeah. There you go.
Dunk yourself out of that.
So another thing to mention now in that cutscene, we did meet a new character. That was Miko, who is Theo's best friend, and he is the current champion of the R1K. He's a little bit older than Theo, and something of a mentor character for him.
I expect you to make a Time on this sector.
And I guess also in stark contrast to the stuff that you
Yes,
see in street
I've
races.
been meaning to watch it one bit. I've just been too busy
traditional motorsport
with
racing. So
streaming
it's all
on
about
Twitch
taking the
and
best
then jumping
line
onto YouTube. Like Tuesdays and
and doing all the
Thursdays
things that you would need to
are
do
an
to
absolute
be
killer for
great
me.
in a proper
I
motorsport
stream
race.
early on with Twitch, and then in the evening I jump onto YouTube.
Worth mentioning, which if you were paying attention,
So this
you
old
might have
man gets a
spotted,
little bit of a nap in between.
A completely different
which is
UI
why,
style in the different modes
I was
as
a little
well.
bit late
So,
today.
In the Midnight Collective ones, it has that kind
Overstepped.
of live stream aesthetic, whereas here it's more inspired by like professional sports broadcasts, so Sky Sports, ESPN, those sort of things. Just give it that kind of like very professional motorsport aesthetic.
But you know, it's good to see more and more studios coming out with races. I feel like it's been a genre that's been neglected for a while. No, he's finished.
Nico!
Nah, he's gone, man.
Fuel! Gas! Stay in your cars!
Of course, take the helmet off. The one thing that's supposed to protect you. Because that's smart to do, right? I think Nico may have survived, by the way. We didn't actually see the body. If this was a Marvel movie, they'd be coming back.
And from there, we're now going to meet a new character. This is George McBride. He is the CEO of the R1K. This is a couple of days after the crash, and we're now going to kind of see the aftermath of what happened after what we've just seen.
Myself. I told people I knew the risks. I said I knew what I stood to lose.
They do, Woodpit.
But it's the ones who are left behind who lose the most. If the R1K cannot be made safer, I will drive a stake through its heart. Because this race cannot and will not be allowed to ever hurt another driver. Not under my tenure.
Is that why he's being fired?
We have 2 drivers dead. 3 more in intensive care. I understand that the R1K is historic, its 100th year, but changes have to be made. Automated driving systems are now fully capable of... Automated driving systems are now fully capable
Mr. McBride,
of...
you're talking about AI? Letting computers drive the cars instead of people?
No, absolutely not. But traction control, brake assists, collision detection. We use automated systems in commercial vehicles because we care about the safety of our civilian drivers. Don't we care about our drivers too? They're our family.
Given your history, your injury, can you be impartial on this?
My history makes me biased towards keeping my drivers alive. Thank you.
If we had this before, Miko wouldn't be dead.
Yeah, but it takes the thrill of racing away, doesn't it?
And what do you think, Dad?
I think now the sport is dead.
Yeah. If you implement AI to stop you from taking that risky corner, no matter how you put it, it kind of ruins the whole experience. And
this feels like a nice time to mention music, as you're hearing a beautiful
Nico ain't
piece of
dead.
music just now. So, with the exception of the Robbie Williams track that opened the game, all the rest of the music you've heard so far was composed by our in-house composer, Dave Fox. And it was all performed, as you can hear right now, by a real-life orchestra that was recorded up in Glasgow. There is also a live band element that was recorded down in London, and you'll see that blend in and out as we play through.
Why
we are
use
going to need to quickly pause now
music?
Whilst Andy switches on streamer mode, because due to an issue, this is the first point in the game he's been able
Look,
to do
they
that.
said Iron Man was
there
dead.
is
I
also,
bet you in some
full licensed catalog of
Avengers
music
movie you're going to
for
see
the
him come back.
purposes of today's stream.
I mean,
we've
hell,
had
he's coming
to-
back
to
as
turn
Dr.
that
Doom.
off for reasons that I'm sure you can understand. but yes, there is a full almost film scores worth of original composition that will soundtrack all of the kind of key dramatic moments throughout the game, all of our cutscenes, a lot of our missions as well.
Cool. Yeah, and another cool thing that's worth mentioning here, perfectly teed up actually, because it's a perfect moment. The lighting system in this game, we spent a long time really making it sing. So we're making use of something we call sky capture technology. So we take lots of beautiful high-resolution photography of a sky over a 24-hour period, and then that drives our day-night cycles in game. The really cool thing about the way we're using it in this game is that we also get to plug that into Lumen, which is something that's obviously a key part of Unreal 5, and it's just been amazing because it means all of that great data gets bounced around the scene, and you get all lovely bits of ambient light everywhere where you'd want it, ambient occlusion, all that stuff really sings, and it also makes all the materials in the game just really look like the real life counterparts. So tarmac glistens as you'd expect at this time of day, all the metalwork on the cars look fantastic. So yeah, props to the lighting team because they've done some absolutely incredible stuff.
Unfortunately, I have to mention to our production team that our monitor has turned off. If the one here with the Discord questions on it, if somebody could come and help us out with that, that'd be cool. Otherwise, we can't answer anybody's questions, and then you'd ask why even do it live. So another element which to our soundscape, so we have the original compositions, we have our licensed soundtrack, which is split up into playlists, each designed to match a particular driving mood that you might be in. That's also supported by a suite of podcasts that allow us to meet other characters in the world, hear a little bit about how the events of our story are impacting on all those other characters that you'll meet. One of those, I think, is going to queue up in a moment. Is that right, Andy?
Yeah, we have our first live moment bug of the day.
Live bug.
Alex Ashcroft podcast hasn't fired.
Yes. So it will trigger, I think, in approximately 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So we will go quiet for a minute and let you listen to Alex and hopefully fix our technical issue here with our screen of Discord questions. It was asking me to log in with a fingerprint, but that's not my laptop, so I was unable to do that. Right, there we go. I guess we could actually take a question from Discord. So if you are
it's like the worst thing that can happen to you.
It's a perfect opportunity to jump in
when
there,
you're
meet
demoing
the community, chat
and
with
you
the devs,
encounter a
ask us
bug or
questions,
something goes
and right
wrong.
at the top of the screen, we've got other than driving, how else can we interact with our cars? That's a weird question, isn't it?
So many ways.
Obviously, as we've talked already, we have a full and deep suite of car customization options. I think to a level that we're really pretty proud of. We think it's really going to excite
I like
you.
the fact that it's not just thing. You can actually exit your vehicle and walk around.
You can create little clips.
That adds a
photo modes.
element
But I think
to the game.
One of the cool things that's worth mentioning at this point is you also have some additional almost role play options that allow you to kind of act like a bit of a car nerd. You can turn on and off your headlights. You can go full beams if you want. You can use your turn
What
signals.
sweater was he wearing? What is he wearing now?
In some scenarios, you can use those to troll the NPC characters as well. So if you flash your high beams at another car, then you can dazzle them, and maybe they have a bit of a wobble. If someone's chasing you, if you know that you're going to turn right, but you indicate left, then you can bamboozle the people chasing you, and they will obviously think you were going to go left because that's the way you were indicating.
So insert generic BMW driver joke here as well.
Just no turn signals.
No turn signals.
I guess that would also work as well.
Cool. Should we mention what's about to happen here and where we are?
Yep.
So we've just pulled up to Theo and Cassie's villa. So this is actually a space you'll be able to explore on foot as well. So this is a space where you'll be able to go in, customize your character.
You guys want to keep watching this, or
and a whole host of other things actually, which we'll leave for later on. But you can see, like Theo and Cass, they're living a pretty great life. They've got a pretty amazing place. It's got some great views over Monaco as well, as you can see. But yeah, we're now about to enter the villa, and basically after the events of what have just happened, the family are getting together to discuss what the heck's going to happen next.
Ça c'est de la merde.
Guys.
Jesus. Hey, Theo. They just sent their new directives.
I know where this ends. Empty cars, no drivers, no sport.
Guys.
Maybe we should just file a complaint.
When a plane crashes, they don't ban pilots. Racing is about courage. It's about risk. The very things that make a life meaningful.
Guys. I'm done.
Don't be stupid.
Well, after something like this, keeping a routine is probably healthy.
I'm done. For the rest of the year at least, maybe longer. I don't even know.
You have sponsors. You have a contract. You have promotions. So you stay. We have to keep the sport alive.
Mika's dead, Dad. I'm done.
He died. You lived. If you don't race, what are you leaving for?
What am I living for? Jesus Christ, it's just a race.
Theo, both of you, just chill.
The Marshall Celeste legacy will not be that we walked away and let our sport die.
I don't care about our legacy.
Theo, it's...
No, chill.
Ah!
I saw no blood.
Get out. Out! And you'd better be on the track first thing.
As we said, sometimes better coach than father.
Yes.
It's a bit stiff, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely more.
Yeah, this goes on for another 50 minutes. I don't know. The game actually looks all right. I like the fact that it has a story mode. It still needs work, and this is an early look at the game, so I'll give it the benefit of that doubt. But I think there's enough here to actually keep me interested. Yeah, this is the new Clutch game. I don't know. I think there's enough here. I'm actually interested in this game, personally. I wasn't when I first heard about it. The original time, the video, like trailer, teaser they showed looked all right. The first viewing that they showed was really janky. But this one kind of has me way more interested in now. I've seen a lot more of the story element to it. It might not be the biggest, like, greatest story in the world, like, you know, saving Gaia or saving the world and having, you know, superheroes like Titus and stuff, but at least they've put an effort into adding something in there to keep it moving from track to track or from place to place, and I appreciate that. Needed more explosions and boobies. Raven, I agree. But in order to see more of that stuff, you probably have to go to the Gacha universe. And that's where all of that is. I did not, unfortunately. I never got around to playing it. Didn't they shut that down, though? Like, the crew's gone, right? If I'm not mistaken. I'm not seeing anything else on social media in terms of news. Now, in my React section, there is 2 videos here that, you know, I'll leave to you guys to decide. Sony shuts down Bungie, mass layoffs, blames Destiny. That's from your favorite DCG. I hate the guy. And then Steve's favorite content creator, Reforge Gaming. Bungie layoffs are worse than we thought. You can play it on PC still via private server. You'll have to send me a link and let me know how that goes. How to do that. It might be worth a look at somewhere down the line. All right, let's do this one. And See what you think. That's actually pretty let me just oh, what's this? Oh shit. This is actually crazy. Micron has just signed an agreement for a historically high memory price for the next 5 years. So until 2031, these prices aren't going down, they're going up, and they are continually going to go up. That's insane. Not looking good for Xbox, PlayStation, or PC gaming until at least 2030s. Man, I need to get some sponsorships for some PC parts if I want to stay in gaming at this point. Our customers are recognizing that supply shortages in memory and storage will take considerable time to improve, he said. Even as we expect industry supply to improve gradually in 2028, we currently do not have a line of sight as to when memory supply will be able to catch up with increasing demand. Now, that was 2028, wasn't it? This agreement was just signed to extend it past 2028. All the talk was that in 2028, things are going to start to normalize. Now that goalpost has been moved to 2031. That's... Man, those that bought a 5090 early on, they laughing now, man. What an idiot. I mean, it's public now, right? So I took a leap of faith and got into reselling. Withdrew my 401k and pre-ordered 500 copies of GTA 6. It's the most anticipated game of all time. When they sell out, I'll be there waiting to corner the market. This will 2-3 times by Christmas. So the guy spent $54,720 on a digital game that he thinks is going to run out. It's all digital. Set up. This is speculation. Take a chance. My guy took a chance. Bro doesn't know about. Why? Why would you do this? He believes that the games that are going to come inside the box are physical. He believes that the copies of the games that he's bought don't have a code. He believes that it's all speculation, and he just dropped $54,720. That's a good way to blow 50K of your 401k. Jesus Christ. There is no refunds for that. All right. That's fucking crazy. All right, this is a really short one, and then we'll be done after this. That's insane. I'm honestly surprised that China hasn't jumped into the RAM making business. I know it's going to take a while, but this would be right up their alley, right? I'm surprised they haven't actually tried to mass produce it. But then again, with the way the memory shortage is, everyone that's in that business is benefiting from it. The only losers are the consumers. Devastator, thank you for the 2, man. Me, a whale? I'm not a whale. If I was a whale, I would have a new graphics card right now. I am not a whale. All right, let's check this out and see what he's going to say. Sony shuts down Bungie, mass layoffs. Will he blame Sony?
Today we're talking.
Okay, chat, will he blame Sony? Yes or no? Simple yes or no. If you know the answer, don't respond. But will he blame Sony for the Bungie layoffs? I blame him too. No? Leave a comment. Leave your comment in the chat.
About PlayStation and Bungie, because they just announced that they are essentially gutting the entire studio, doing massive layoffs. And you know what? This is more than just the fact that Marathon didn't sell. I think a lot of people are instantly annoyed about these layoffs because they're blaming it on Destiny. You know, Destiny, the game that technically has like 10 times the fan base. Even now, like Destiny, when it's dead with no updates whatsoever, is 10 times bigger than the brand new game Marathon. It's more.
That's actually true, by the way. At the lowest point of Destiny, when there was no updates to the game for 8 months, it still had more players than Marathon. Let that sink in. A brand new game could not compete with a game that had no content for 8 months.
More than just saying, hey, Destiny's better than Marathon. It's the fact that to blame them specifically, clearly what's making people so mad about this announcement that just came out is that it shows the fact that Sony, PlayStation buying Bungie was just such a major mistake. There's been multiple leaks that essentially Sony is mad that Bungie couldn't make all their live service a lot more popular. All this weird like Horizon Zero Dawn MMORPG or stuff like Concord. They wanted Bungie to make those games work. And when they couldn't, they said, okay, you make Marathon and you make nothing else. And now that basically Marathon has failed, they're gutting it at punishment. There's no other way to look at it. But let's take a look at this and let's see the replies, because people are pissed and saying Bungie is being punished for the stupidest reason ever. Let's get into it. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could, please give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, God. Bungie announces a reduction in force following the final content update for Destiny 2, and with our future projects in early incubation, we unfortunately could not continue operating at our previous size. Now, this had been leaked a while back that essentially the entirety of Bungie was about 800 people, and they just reduced it down to about 400. Essentially, everybody currently working on Marathon, people working on marketing, people working on bug testing, those people have a job. Everybody else is now gone. If you were doing anything Destiny related, whether it was Destiny 3, prototyping, any of that stuff, everybody is now gone. And I hate the way they're phrasing this. Look at this. With great sadness, we're announcing a reduction of force as we reorganize Bungie. As the leaders of Bungie, past and present, we recognize that Destiny 2 fell short.
I thought Sony were doing record profits.
Of expectations for the past several years. Following our final content update at Destiny 2 and our future projects basically not even ready to show, because let's face it, they're probably going to get canceled as well. We cannot continue to work at our previous size. We know this decision will have a profound impact on the people affected, their friends, their families, their teammates. And while these changes are necessary, we feel bad. We're so sorry that we're firing all of our great people that we just bought. Consider how recently PlayStation even bought this studio for $3.6 billion. You're telling me that none of these people were worth keeping around? None of these people were worth actually moving over to PlayStation proper? The original leaks was that their goal was to absorb them, that if they couldn't make Destiny popular, they were going to like just make them another PlayStation studio entirely, to have them help them work on like, I don't know, some big giant new SOCOM game or something. Instead, they're just firing everybody. Look at these replies. Let's see if we get the same from people who were really harping on Xbox for their layoffs. Well, I think everyone's going to be mad as hell about this too. All they had to do was make Destiny 3 and not a niche, dead on arrival extraction shooter. It is ridiculous, right?
I mean, even if they just announced that D3 was in development, that would have been enough. Luna? What's up? Do you want to say hi to chat? Oh, you just said hi to chat. You want to go pesca Ramranda? You do? Okay, go. Bye, chat. There's your little cameo of Luna. She finally came through. Your old S game has more players than Marathon. It does. Dude, Marathon is dead on arrival.
Like, to me, it's not even about Marathon being bad or Marathon failing. We're going to talk more about that. It's the fact that it shows how bad Bungie management has been and how bad Sony has been for simply just downsizing instead of fixing the studio. There
you go. He actually said it. I can't believe it. He actually said it. He is the only one I've heard that I've seen from PlayStation side that is holding Sony accountable for the layoffs at Bungie because they did not intervene. That's insane. That's unbelievable.
A lot of talks that essentially the people at the top of Bungie have been inept for years. People trying to maximize microtransactions, trying to make the game overly grindy, removing weapons. Destiny 2 has been in a weird state specifically because the management was trying to maximize play hours instead of fun or enjoyment or even concurrent players. Their goal was to basically milk the fan base to death. And the recent expansions show that with their lower player numbers. Look at this, though. Look at these people, right? I dreaded this announcement to think it's finally come. Your leadership is dreadful. My heart goes out to those poor devs that have been let go after years of mismanagement. Destiny 2 could have been great, but you squandered it. I'm heartbroken. Destiny 2 didn't fall short. The leadership of Bungie did. The leadership of the studio and oversight by Sony's ownership is just atrocious. All decision makers should be ashamed of themselves. This development team deserves so much better, especially because there was one of many financial injections. They spent $3 billion acquiring the studio, acquiring this talent, trying to make it the best ever. And instead, they're just shutting them down. Look at this. Every person reply. Thank you for these great memories. Thank you for this. It didn't fall short of expectations. The leadership wanted to get their payouts, wanted to bolster those numbers, get rich.
It's quite possible, Devastator, because I've never seen him ever ever say something bad about Sony. But this is the first time he's actually holding Sony accountable. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. I can't believe he actually blamed Sony. This is insane. If we actually watched Steve's Reforge, the #1 creator, he'd be laughing right now at the Bungie layoffs, considering how much he hates Bungie for banning his account. Man, that's insane.
An exit. Now, this is kind of publicly known now, but before the buyout, they basically lied to PlayStation. It's not an exaggeration. It's not hyperbole. Essentially,
No, that's true. That's true. Pete Parsons lied out of his teeth. He showed Sony all these incubation projects and said, look at all these games we're making. Destiny Payback, Gummy Bears, and all of this stuff. And none of them were real, right? All of them got shut down. All they had left was Marathon and Destiny. Sony overpaid for this. Keep in mind, right, they paid $3.6 billion for Bungie. They paid $229 million for Insomniac. I wish he had stopped her. They paid $229 million for Insomniac and paid $3.6 billion for Bungie. Which one was the best buy for them?
like Bungie pretended they had a lot more going on. They did a bunch of mass hiring to say, oh, look how many hundreds of employees we have, full-time contract employees. You need to buy us for X amount of extra billions of dollars. And PlayStation agreed. PlayStation thought that was a good investment. And now they're seeing it, how mismanaged, how bloated, how inefficient sections of this company were. While the art they're making was great, clearly this was their size of, okay, let's just fire everybody and see if it somehow makes them more efficient. It's just not the case. It is wild that hearing this amongst this, yesterday, or I guess 2 days ago now, Marathon announced their next big update. Now, the way this sort of works is that Marathon is beginning these big, giant patches to sort of fix it. We're currently in Season 2, and the game is in a very bad spot. Not only is it glitchier than ever, they keep having the disable modes and stuff. It seems like a lot of these people have known they were about to be laid off. They're trying to essentially make something according to, like, they're almost sort of trying to make a Destiny mode inside.
It's quite funny because if you look inside the Destiny cash shop right now, it actually has the option to buy Marathon. That's dirty. Like, how much of a kick in the nuts do you need to give to Destiny fans knowing that Marathon is the game that killed them? And on top of that, you're going to step on their grave by putting the game available on sale inside the Destiny cash shop. Now, my pillow is amazing. It is always ice cold. Paid a lot of money for it, but it's amazing.
Of Marathon. They're trying to increase the PvP aspect and try to make it more PvE friendly, making it so that people that are not good at constant killathon extraction shooters have a way to play the game. Essentially trying to salvage this and hopefully get some of the massive Destiny fans to even attempt trying this out. And essentially they're making this roguelike.
How were they priced so high? Because they had like 6 or 7 incubation projects, right? They had Destiny already undergoing. They had Marathon in the works. They had Gummy Bears, which has now been siphoned off to Sony. They had Destiny Payback. They had another Destiny project that was on the cards. And then they had another 2 that was unknown, but they were incubation projects that are being worked on. The problem is, as they cancelled each and every one of them, people like Luke, for example, when they cancelled Destiny Payback, Mark Noseworthy and Luca Smith, they just left. They could see they already saw that there's no desire to push this any further.
PvE mode called Vault Breaker, where you play through Cryo Archive and you get this upgraded kit. Essentially, you don't get to leave with weapons, but it gets harder and harder and harder. You go deeper and deeper into it. This sounds cool to me, but at the same time, it almost feels like an act of desperation. Yeah, there's the idea that you're going to turn Marathon into Destiny, which is essentially impossible. I think PvE aspects could be cool, but we're talking about the equivalent of like a seasonal activity, not an insult. It's just never going to fill that hole. it does feel weird that right now, right? Let's just like
that is a really good movie that Bungie released. You know, they did really well with that farewell.
Right now, they're posting trailers about how beautiful, how memorable, how important this entire quest of Destiny 2 was. All the heroes, all the deaths, all the victories, all the raid bosses, all the expansions, all of this was so important. And then simultaneously mass firing everybody. I have played a lot of Destiny. I played a lot of Destiny 2. I have a lot of videos on this channel actually reviewing a lot of the Destiny expansions. And I have to admit that at times I loved the game. At times I utterly hated the game. But this to me is deeply disrespectful. To blame the layoffs on Destiny 2, it feels like a spit in the face that's so deeply undeserved.
He's actually angry about this. Man, he is actually really angry about this. Do you see his face? Look at it.
Times I utterly hated the game. But this to me is deeply disrespectful. To blame the layoffs on Destiny 2, it feels like a spit in the face that's so deeply undeserved. This is a passionate community that kept you going for years and years and years. Good updates, bad updates. The Destiny community was happy to be there and shoot and loot. Taking that and now saying, this is the fault. This is the reason that we failed. This is the reason we have to fire everybody. It's a lie. It's straight up a lie. I believe the leaks that say they're literally trying to punish Destiny. And this is it. They're firing everybody at Bungie because they couldn't make Concord work. Well, these have been some off-the-cuff thoughts. Please.
That's actually a surprisingly good video from him for once. Not because he's blaming Sony, but more because he's actually being honest. You can see it. You could see the frustration in his face. He was genuinely annoyed at the closure of Destiny. I stopped playing Destiny after the final shape, like fully stopped playing it. But I've been following all the story beats through other YouTube channels to stay up to date because I did enjoy the Destiny storyline, even if it did go downhill quite a bit at times. But it's a shame, man. A Destiny 3 would definitely have brought me back into the game. I mean, the Marathon PvE is basically right now like a public event, but it just gets harder and harder as you go through whatever tomb it is that you're going through. That's it. That's their answer to thing. Which is kind of crazy. So realistically, who's gonna do you think? I'm just gonna go back to this and ask one more question before I call it a day. This price increase, how do you think it's going to impact overall? I mean, Asher Sharma was saying we're going to focus on selling more consoles. We're going to focus on bringing Xbox back. We're focusing on getting more Xboxes into more homes, into more living rooms. How do you think this is going to impact that desire to do that? Probably have to leave that for another day, Devastator. It's a little late. They don't have enough supply anyway. They don't have enough supply in certain countries. In other countries, they do. And in the countries that they don't have supply in, they've already said those people can just go to cloud or PC. At least that's what Matthew Ball said, which is weird in itself. But yeah. They cancel the increase? Nah, that's not getting canceled, man. I just think it's crazy. I think it's crazy. What's that, Steve? You're off? What's that? You're going to post me a new graphics card? Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You heard it here, chat, right? He said he's going to deliver me a new working graphics card of 4090, 5090. I'm not too fussy. Rest well, buddy. And if the RAM prices are increasing like they're saying they are, man, it's just going to get... It's going to get bad. It's kind of shitty they hang her out to dry like that. What, Asha Sharma? I believe this decision to increase the price came from Asha. She's the one that's making all the financial decisions at the moment, not Amy Hood. She already turned around and told Amy that she doesn't care about the 30% incentive that they've put on, that they have to reach. She doesn't care about that margin whatsoever. That's not her, you know, her, what she wants to do is bring Xbox back to the greatness that it was years ago. So, I don't know. I think this was part of that 100-day reset. I think it was. I mean, what I would have done if I was Microsoft... What I would have done if I was Microsoft, I would have not released this news. I would have waited, I don't know, till August. Or even now, just turn around and say, right, GTA 6 is on pre-order. If you get a Series X with GTA 6, we're subsidizing the console for this much money, or just announce a price drop on the console. Subsidize it and get people buying it for GTA 6. Like, this is the one game that can get people buying your console. And the first thing you do is, hey, we're going to increase the price. Like, I just don't get it. Okay. Chat. Apple increased their prices for the MacBook and other devices. No, I get that. This isn't I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they say that their aim is to get more Xboxes into people's homes. GTA 6 isn't going to come around every day. It's one of those games that come around every 15 years. But it is the one game that will move consoles. It will. People will buy consoles to play this game, right? So this is the one time that it's in your interest to take the hit and have a nice sale going on right now that the pre-orders are available while the hype is going for people to want to buy your console and not double down and increase the price and make people not want to buy your console. Or hear me out here. Just hear me out, right? Just hear me out. You could be like this guy. He refunded his GTA 6, right? Nothing against the game, but I woke up this morning with buyer's remorse. a bit disappointed of a missing physical collector's edition for such an anticipated game, but also that I can't see a scenario I would play this in my living room around my family, waiting for PC. So he refunded GTA 6 because it didn't come with a physical edition of the game, of the disc. So he's going to wait for PC. So he's upset that it doesn't have a physical, and so he's going to wait and buy it on digital. Am I the only one confused here? No, he's talking about the Ultimate Edition, but what he wanted was a physical copy of the game. So because he couldn't get a physical copy of the game, he's going to get it on PC instead. And the only way I'm going to get GTA 6 is if people want me to stream it, and that's it. I've got I don't know what it is. I'm just not hyped for that game at all. But who knows? I mean, I didn't get Elden Ring either. For myself, anyway. I didn't like Elden Ring either. That wasn't a game for me. Has Rockstar officially announced that there won't be a disc? They're releasing a physical version just with no disc in it. It's just a code. So you can go to the store and buy it. Don't. It's better you wait and see. I mean, this would be the first GTA I've ever bought. I'll probably just let my kids buy it because I know they might want to play it. And I'll just leech off them. I've got no interest in GTA, man. It's not a rumor, Vince. It's being launched without a disc. Now, the current theory is that it's being done this way so people can't leak the game out and see spoilers can't go out early or anything like that. Personally, I think that's not the reason why they're doing it. I think they'll be working on this game until the 11th hour. They'll be working on this game all the way through for that day one patch to land, as and when the servers go live, so they can basically squeeze in as much development time as possible. That's my theory. What's a live theory? Oh, the whole spoilers and stuff? Yeah, that's bollocks. I think they're just working on it until the 11th hour. They're going to be working on this game till the last second that they possibly can to push that update live, and then and then they'll be happy. And that way, everyone is going to be downloading that day one patch because the game won't play without it. And then you're happy. And then everyone's going to have the same experience. Except for those in New Zealand, they'll probably play it a little bit earlier. Unless they do something different, right? Where they actually release it at the same time globally, regardless of time. Now that would be interesting. Yeah, so they can't press the discs. So maybe sometime in the distant future, you'll see, maybe like 3 to 5 months down the line, you might get physical editions of the game. But right now, the physicals that are coming with the bot in the shops all have a digital code. But chat, that is going to be it for today. We're going to be back tomorrow with me streaming over at Twitch. So if you want to check that out, I'm over at twitch.tv/Chaos Lounge _. Should be a link in the description below. If you want to drop there and drop me a follow, that would be appreciated. We're trying to get to 50 follows over there. Trying to get to 10K subs here. So if you haven't yet subscribed, that would be awesome. But thank you so much for hanging out tonight, man. It's been awesome. Some good conversations, some nice videos, and yeah, we finally saw DCG actually being upset with Sony. I never thought I'd see the day. I genuinely didn't. That's crazy to me. They are working on a medieval game, apparently. Nothing could be worse than the Cyberpunk release, man. That was a colossal disaster. But yeah, I hope you all had a great time, man. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. And yeah, if you want to join my Discord, feel free. There's no fee or anything of that kind to it. Link in the description below. Just click on it, join, and join the merry band of people in my Discord. But other than that, I am going to see those of you that are turning up to my Twitch stream tomorrow. And for the rest of you, I will either see you in the next video or on my next stream here on YouTube. Peace out, boys.